joke was, do we
So,
have to start over from 170? Because he left at 169.
oh, so he remembered that 169 was his last show and 170 would be the continuation.
Although
Wow.
I did do a year end. Remember, I came on to last year.
Yeah. Of course. That was the last time, and so that was 199. And where are we now, Dave?
I'll tell you, welcome to episode 220. Here we are. So,
all right.
all right. Yeah.
Yeah, we switched it up. I do that now, Brandon.
Good.
I don't know if
we're just happy that B is here. That's all that
Yeah.
matters at the moment.
Ratings?
Yeah.
Wow, look at the setup. Dave, you got a new setup. You look like you're in a different spot.
Well, no, I just switched. I just sat on my love seat instead of my couch. See, that's where I usually.
Oh, there's
go.
the couch. Yeah, okay.
I just changed it up just to change it up. You know, I just want to. I've been over
the
here.
movie shelves. Nice.
Yeah, we do see
Oh my
movie
God.
shelves and whatnot.
Yeah, you also have as many movies as Christian has pumpkins.
These are
Problem
for you, our little
Right.
pumpkin head. Did you just say you bought a bunch of movies? You hadn't bought movies for a long time,
Right.
and then you binge. I tried to get that Blood and Black Lace. I sat on it too long, and the 4K sold out already.
It hasn't been sent to me yet. I got that, and I got House by the Cemetery. The House by the Cemetery came yesterday or the day before, and it looks beautiful. I haven't watched it yet, but the packaging and everything looks beautiful.
Yeah,
but,
man.
I'm waiting on the Blood and Black Lace one. I hope they send it to me.
Well, odd that maybe that's it. Maybe there's an issue because if you ordered them at the same time, it's weird that they didn't come together.
Yeah, I'm holding off for a little while longer. I don't even remember where I ordered it from. I had to be through Arrow. I
Arrow.
guess.
I did order the Hellraiser set, Dave. I was like, I can't hold off.
It was
because-
there.
No, the Hellraiser one was Psycho wasn't. But now it's Psycho's back. So I don't know what happened. It was gone for like a week or so, and then they got more in stock, the Psycho 4K set. But it was the Hellraiser set, and I wanted to get their exclusive one, and of course that sold out. So I just got the other one because
You cannot wait on anything. Even if it says it's
I
limited
know.
to 10,000, if you want it, get it right away. Day one buys now.
yeah,
Day one, but here
Oh,
we
You,
yeah,
go.
ha-
So
you
now we're
have to.
forced.
You have to. You can't wait.
Spooky's
You can't
8K
wait.
is coming
You
out
can't
soon.
If you want something, get it the day it comes out.
So this is the problem because I didn't see them. Look, I was looking for. I was on the Arrow sale a couple days ago when C said
Yeah.
it was going on there. It's
Shocktober.
Shocktober. There you go, Shocktober. I don't know what's getting. I'll tell you what.
That's worse than
Shocktober-
spooky season.
Okay, that's the question. What's
Yeah.
worse?
It's worse. Shocktober.
You think Shocktober's worse than spooky season? Okay. I don't know. They're both crazy.
They're both cringe.
But here's the thing. Shocktober is being used for the Arrow sale and for the freaking, what do you call it, sale? For the Scream Factory sale. So they both use the same lazy term, Shocktober.
I feel like Scream
Did you know
Factory has
this?
given up.
Well, they haven't given up. They're smart. They're smart because all they're doing is the simplest freaking method and taking all their Blu-ray and just Blu-ray and making them 4K. So they're Blu-raying it. That's what they're doing. That's what they should call it. That should be a new term amongst collectors. When they just take a thing and that's already been on Blu-ray from that company and they made it to a 4K, well, they Blu-rayed it.
That's what they're doing. You're right. They are. It's just rinse and repeat. That's why you're probably bang on. I wonder if Arrow has a sort of time, because I mean Arrow is UK. I mean, yes, 4Ks are region free, but that doesn't mean that there can't be, as we've seen. Usually, there will be an American counterpart. So I'm surprised Scream Factory hasn't released their Psycho 2 or 3 in a 4K release, because or in 4, because they've got that one as well, right?
Yeah.
I don't even know, man.
That
So
Arrow
you're
one,
saying-
that Arrow one region free? And I know 4Ks are region free, but I asked because I know these companies, they're so slick. They put like all the bonus features on a Blu-ray.
Well,
then lock it. Like
that's what they do. The Arrow ones, some of the special features are on the 4K discs, and if sometimes there's another disc that's the Blu-ray, and that's region B typically. Thank God I got a region-free player. And occasionally you can test them out. So I just found this out. You go to the Arrow site, they're only going to tell you they're region B because I believe by law they have to. Just say
Yeah.
they're
Gotta
region
play
B.
safe.
But if you go to
Yeah.
Blu-ray.com, now again, don't
Right.
quote me on playing the telephone game here because I read this, that Blu-ray.com will tell you if someone's tested it out and if it's region all region or if it plays in region A and whatnot. So you can get a little bit more intel that way if you're humming and hawing about buying one. And I've tried a couple of my own, just popping them in, and some luck. I think it was RoboCop worked, but most of them didn't. So it's just nice not to have a dedicated region-free player to just play those discs. Just give me something to play everything, and I don't want to buy something new. That's what I want.
Yeah.
So what's new, B? Any?
Yeah. What is new with B? Right. B is here. We were supposed to do the vampire films. We had the vote. Then we found out that B might be able to come out and join us and talk Saw since these guys both saw it this weekend. And we immediately said everything else is going on hold so we can welcome in B because that's the way we do it for him.
Well, Ram Man challenged him. Sorry.
Oh, well, thanks,
Did he?
Ram Man.
I thought I challenged myself.
Right. Yeah. Well, someone else challenged themselves on our page, and I thought B was the only one that did that.
Yeah,
and then you came on.
What's his name with the 31 movies, 31 shorts?
Billy.
Jim
Billy.
K.
Billy Davis.
Oh, Billy D. Oh,
Some of those shots are great. I've been enjoying them. Yeah.
They are.
Yes.
I think I'm counting them as 2023s.
Well, it's better than Skinamarink.
You know what? I still have not pulled the trigger on Skinamarink, and the only reason I might do it is because of Dave.
Uh-oh.
This Dave?
This Dave. He's the only one who gave it above a 0.
Well, I give it like a 5.5. It isn't like it's still my worst.
Out of 6.
If I'm looking at all my things, it would be my lowest rated movie of the year. So, however, there are still aspects of the movie that I appreciated. So there was a
the mise en scène.
Bizo who? What language you talking in?
The mise en who? Oh, speaking of what language, Chris A.K. Scott, God bless this guy. His name comes up. It's almost like I have to mention him every show now. His name comes up every show. But he's like, hey, buddy, just have to point out, you love saying par se. Well, this is how I say it, par se. He goes, for fuck's sake, it's per se.
Parse.
Yeah.
What is it?
I have no.
Right.
It's
parse.
It gotta be me. I've been saying it. It's
Parse.
true. I say parse.
Parsley.
I didn't dislike it per se. Like I'm being like all like pompous, and I'm sounding like a fucking fool. So I've been hyperboling this for fucking 30 plus shows at least, and
hyperbole you can get away with though, because I hear people use that interchangeably.
Well, I think I've ever since that time I've been good with that one, but no, per se.
Well,
That
parse
was good.
Parse is making you the hyperbole of self-abuse. That's all I can say. Hyperbole,
Wow,
parse,
man.
parse. I didn't even notice you said parse. See, but
Yeah, I do.
I noticed some things.
Yeah, because you'd probably you always call me out on certain things. Like one of the, I don't even remember the last one. Like it was the show before. I said something. I can't even recall now. And you're like, don't you mean this? And I'm like, yep, that's exactly what I mean.
That's why you need me back. If you're not gaming,
right?
At least 6 times a show, then you miss it a lot.
See,
you are missed. We got
gig.
a 3-star review because you haven't been on the show.
That's true.
Yeah.
People are angry.
I've heard.
They wanted an update, so we told them he's not coming back.
Stick around.
Up at the 5 stars.
Yeah.
No, man. I know we've been wanting you to come back, and I know like you've thought you might have been able to join a couple other times, but honestly, it is great to have you back. And you have been missed, and I can't wait to talk about Saw, but also just any Like, let's use this time to 80 2023s that have blown you away,
Everything.
or whatever,
Yeah.
man.
I'll say it's good to be back. 2023, I was planning on at least guesting on a pretty regular basis, but you guys know everything that's been going on with Dad since the beginning of the year. He had a lot of health issues. Doing better now, but I just told you guys like a week or two ago that he had other health issues in June, which I didn't even like really bring up, but it led to more hospital time, and it's been a nightmare this year. But things are settling down. There's still a few more things to do, but it's literally been since right before New Year's of last year.
Yeah.
Literally the end of December 2022 to now, still dealing with ongoing shit.
Well, it's
Oh.
I we only know through you, but it was kind of nice to hear him yelling up
Yeah.
to you right when we were here about to start. Just because, because I wasn't sure if I wanted to ask if you were going to bring it up. Great, but I didn't want to
Yeah, no,
right,
he's
hit
feeling
a
pretty
sore
good.
spot.
No, he's doing really good. Just having some stomach issues that we got to get taken care of, which could be a result of all the hospital stays. But
It could be medicine that he's taking. It could
yeah,
be just his body changing. My old man, I mean, he's 85 now, and his stomach the last like 5 years, it's just been one thing after another.
yeah,
And now he's on medication and he takes it, but he's been having to do this balancing act between constipation and freaking taking the stuff that freaking makes him have to shit every fucking 10 minutes and he can't go anywhere. So no matter what he's been doing,
Taco Bell.
there's no relief.
Sorry.
Getting old sucks. That's what he told me.
It's literally what we're dealing with. He was constant. My dad was constipated for like 3 weeks from being in the hospital with sepsis, and then when he came home, he's literally going 5 times a day.
See,
it's crazy.
It's the medicine they're giving him. He has to take half a dose. Is what he has to do. He's got. But my old man. Oh, you've been playing around. Yeah,
playing around like crazy with different pills, with this, with probiotics, with this.
Go to a nutritionalist if you have not. That's what helped him.
He's getting a colonoscopy in 3 weeks. And
good.
After that, if they find like nothing's wrong and everything's good, the next step is without a doubt 100% nutrition based, because he's lost a ton of weight, so he doesn't have to like diet or anything. But I don't know if he's eating something that's irritating him, because he's lost like 45 pounds this year.
Oh wow!
From being in the he's really light. He weighs in the 120s right now.
Wow.
Yeah,
is he tall, or is he like?
Nah, he's tiny. He's like 3 feet tall.
Okay.
Nah, he's probably like with his bad neck, he's probably like 5'4".
Oh, okay. So
he used to be tall. He used to be like 5'9" before all his neck issues.
Oh, not on. Well, best of luck with it. But listen, go see a nutritionalist if you need to, because as soon as my father did that, they basically just made a list. These are the things you can eat. These are the things you should not eat.
Yeah.
And that's it. And he will never be 100% comfortable. But since he's gone there, things have gotten better, more manageable. And for years, it was not. Like, he's been complaining the last 3 years and saying, oh, what a terrible thing this is. I hope this doesn't happen to you when you get older, this and that. But now, he's 85. He's got this going on. He's got that. He's got a hurt back now. And so it's just like, he's walking with a cane. Now I'm getting really nervous. Yeah. Really nervous, because
winter's hit you over the head with the cane.
It's a bat too. I got him a Louisville slugger. Like, what's
why they call me Mr. Glass?
Oh, my lucky bat. He's got a lucky bat now because I gave it to him.
my lucky cane.
So this guy, my lucky cane. Isn't that movie? Psycho Gorman?
Psycho Gorman, my lucky bat.
Yeah, my lucky bat, whatever that. See, I was right, but he has a
Citizen bat.
So anyway, I'm getting nervous because Citizen. Yeah.
My internet is not doing so well, guys.
So,
I'm noticing, so I apologize.
You're okay.
But I'm nervous for the last 8 years.
Because this dude, when the ice comes and the snow and everything, I don't want him walking anywhere where he could slip and hurt his hip. That's the scariest thought of all, because I always hear about this and people falling and hurting their hip and then they're toast.
Yeah, I won't let my dad go outside without me. I make him use a walker now, because he could walk without it fine, but he's got
Right.
such a bad neck that if he loses his balance,
Right.
he goes down. And he fell in June, and that's ultimately what led to him getting sepsis again. So he had sepsis
Yeah,
twice
so-
this year and spent, I think I calculated, I think it was 28 days in the hospital this year.
Damn.
And
Oh,
first
Lord.
first 5 or 6 days were in ICU, and I don't know if I told you this. I got a call the first night he was in ICU, and it was bad. I got a call at like 1:30 in the morning, and I got scared. I was like, "This is it," because that was the time the hospital called when they
Yeah.
told us my mom passed away, and I got the same call at the same time. It was 1:30 in the morning. I'm like, I prepared myself in my head. It's like, this is it. He passed, and it was they just wanted to get consent because he was so out of it. Because he barely remembers it, especially that first week in the hospital. Because he was, I think we brought him in. His blood pressure, I'll never forget. His blood pressure was 49/34.
Whoa.
So you go into the emergency room, and they take you into triage and they check everything, and they checked it, and within 2 minutes he was in the back seeing doctors and everything, and it was just it was a nightmare, but
he pulled through.
I'm glad at least he's home now.
Yeah.
He pulled through, was doing great, and then he fell in June. And I was across the street when he fell. My neighbors were like, "There's cops walking up to your door." I'm like, "Oh fuck!" I started running across the street. They were about to kick in the door because he sounded the alarm, and so I got in, and he had fallen, and everything was fine. We took him to the hospital, brought him home. He was okay. 2 days later, he could not walk down the stairs. So back to the hospital for a couple of days, needed a catheter for like 2 weeks. The catheter got infected, became septic again, spent another 8-9 days on top of that in the hospital. Now he's back to normal again.
My Lord.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a nightmare.
It's been a year. It's been my God.
I say this is easily the top 3 worst years for me.
Well, that sucks to hear, man.
Yeah, easily.
I'm bad too, but I'm just fucked up in the head bad, and that's another story.
I'm a head case this year. I've lost my mind completely.
I think I'm worse than you without even having that happen to me, which happened with you and your father. I don't talk about it much, but I don't know. I can't even get into it now. But I'm fucked in the head, and my memory has gotten so bad. Literally, I freaking drove. I picked Francesca up from work the other day, and I'm driving home, and she decided she wanted these chicken tenders from this place called Checkers that's near here, because she had them for the first time not too long ago. She goes, "I really like those chicken tenders from Checkers." I said, "Okay, I'll get them for you." So, because she hadn't eaten, she just got out of work. So go in the drive-through, we get her stuff. Now we come home. It's 5 minutes away from home. This place.
Yeah.
We come in, we pull in the driveway. Pull in the garage. I put the car in the park, and I think to myself, "Oh fuck, I forgot to go get her food." And I was just about to say, "How did we forget to go get you food?" And I was literally just there 5 minutes before in the drive-thru getting food. That's how fucking I'm having things happen in my head that are like things that you would expect to have somebody who has dementia on the way. That's what's fucked up. Now, it's scary.
It could have been worse, though. You could have gotten home, and it could have been like someone else. It wasn't Francesca. You brought someone else home and got them Checkers. Who the hell are you?
Are you gonna come in and finish your chicken tenders inside?
So yeah, I'm pretty fucked. And that's the tip.
Where's your scar? I'm sorry.
Oh, I have that scene. I could play it. Last time because I saw the movie twice. So the second time I saw it, I knew it was coming. So I did. I filmed it because I wanted to have it in case I had to talk about it with somebody with that scene. So I do have it. Oh my God. I can't believe it. I can play it back and we can see if that is that. Oh, that's
I hope it's the case, because when I was in the theater and I heard it, I was like, I turned to my buddy. I'm like, "Where's your scar?" Like, I'd love to see, but that's immediately what came to my head. I was like, "Is this Hulk?"
Oh, dude, that's great. Well, listen, back to that stuff with Arrow and the Blu-rays and the day one buys and everything else, and you say and see as soon as you see it, you got to buy it and everything else. This is something I wanted to bring up anyway, but one thing leads to the other. The other day I go to Best Buy. And I don't go anywhere. Again, I'm fucked up in the head, but it was early afternoon, and I went to a doctor. I was on the way back from the doctor's office, and I realized that I was passing down the back way entrance to Best Buy. I was like, you know what? No one's gonna be there this time of day. Nothing's going. Let me go in here. So I go into Best Buy, and there's no movies left. Now, I mean, I haven't been there in like, but I'm sure I've been there like in the past year, and I've seen them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Matter of fact, yes. Why did we go there? There was a reason my wife and I had to go to Best Buy, and it was like maybe for Christmas last year. I don't know, but it's been within the last year. So they had the movies then because I was in there looking at them while she was looking at something that she wanted to buy. So now I go into Best Buy here. There's nothing. There's not a Blu-ray. There's not a DVD. There is nothing there. So now that was like the last place that had any type of selection at all. And they had it all. They had 4K and Blu-ray. They had everything. Now it's gone. So now the only place you could buy, you can only buy them at freaking what is it? Walmart and Target. And that's it. We're pretty much so now because we're screwed. Like you go tell collectors this, they'll say, well, we're not screwed. We just get them online. However, yes, that's great. But now because of what B just said, now when these things go on sale online, they're A, going to be overpriced, and B, they're going to sell out. So things, you could say whatever you want to say. And I know physical media people, which I'm one of them, love to say it's never going to go away and this and that and everything else. And it's okay. You just got to, you just got to adjust and get your stuff online. It really isn't freaking, it's not black and white. It's just not that easy, man. We're in trouble. Seriously.
Walmart's not good in Canada for that. Maybe they're better in the States. I popped into a few of them in the States and they're okay. But
it's not
in
good.
Canada, it's like they're the last hurrah. Like they have new versions of DVD. It's like DVDs with slipcovers now, packaged brand new.
Yeah, I see
because
them at
DVDs
Walmart.
are like, remember you read, and I think it was just last year, but you're given us statistics. I guess at that point you're giving me statistics, D, about
I remember
how DVD was still one of the bigger sellers over Blu-ray.
Yep. Sure. It's
Which
weird.
was
Well, nobody
shocking.
buys
Yeah.
well, nobody buys 4K, first of all. They just don't, unless they're collectors like us. But most people don't even know what a 4K is. I bet more people have gone into stores and bought a 4K of a freaking movie and then got home and said, what the hell is this? It doesn't play on their Blu-ray play. And then it's probably caused trouble. Now, Walmart used to be better. Now it's definitely getting worse and worse and worse. But I'm just saying, those are the only place I can walk into and buy is Walmart or Target. And I hear Target's getting rid of more. That's getting more barren the way Best Buy was getting towards the end. And what else do you have? You got those mall stores, those FYEs, which they're not going to be around much longer just because malls themselves aren't going to be around much longer. And they're charging so much money. You know what keeps those stores going? Same thing. And believe it or not, same thing with Best Buy. They had fucking Funkos in there and they had collectibles. Dude, they have like you have toys and movie memorabilia in here, but you don't have movies. It's crazy.
Ours is in Canada. We've got a chain that seemingly dies out at one location, but will come back. It's Records on Wheels. So they've come back with, of course, the.
Does that go with Meals on Wheels?
You know what? I'm lying. It's not Records on Wheels. That's a store. But it's Sunrise Records. Sunrise Records, excuse me. That's the chain. So Sunrise Records has come out, and of course, with the rise of vinyl being popular, again, they'll have that. Then they'll have, of course, CDs. So you have hard copy of music still, but they've got a huge movie selection, and they've got a good chunk of Scream Factory and some Arrow. So like some of the harder to find ones that you would have never found before. And then there's that Cinema
like Barnes
One.
and Noble.
So those are our chains that but they're expensive. It goes back to what you're saying. They're really expensive. Like pretty much everything's $50 or more. And I get it for a special feature. Like when we're talking about like the Hellraiser thing, you're getting like a hard copy book in there as well. plus the 4 movies. And it's 4 movies and it's packaged. The Psycho set is not a hard copy book, but there's a booklet in there that you've got 4 movies in 4K. Like these are multi-title packages. But when it's a single package movie, you can get up there. You can get up there, but usually if it's a special or limited edition, there's a reason why you're paying for it. But if it's just the movie, it's very difficult to spend $50.
Yeah.
Like Creepshow 4K. I didn't get the one. I could still get the Scream Factory one that came out on Blu-ray, but the price between the Blu-ray and the 4K are not significantly different. But it's like $50.
Yeah, man. $50. It's exactly. And are you sure it's worth the upgrade?
No,
How do you know?
it's not.
Not all of them
How
are.
could it be?
I don't know. Sometimes it is.
I feel like certain movies maybe, but I feel like I can't justify it for every movie I own.
No, why would I? I'm with
can't-
you, dude.
I can't justify it for 95% of the movies. I can't think of a movie off the top of my head. Suspiria would be one. I get
Natural
going with
Born
that.
Killers. Suspiria.
Yeah.
Argento movies.
Yeah.
Von Trier movies. Certain looks,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? But I don't need Deadly Friend on fucking 4K.
Oy.
I
don't.
need Deadly Friend on 1K.
Thank you.
Yeah. Fair.
We
Okay.
just did it a few shows ago, Brandon.
I
What
saw.
a fucking howl. Like, and again, this fucking guy, I don't mean to bring up his name every fucking show. I should use a different name, but Chris, aka Scott, he fucking bought it because of our show, Dave. He bought
Good.
the
I hope he
fucking thing.
enjoys it. Good. I hope he enjoys it.
He enjoys it. He says it's batshit crazy, but he in a good way for him. Like he loved it.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Okay.
The world's gone insane.
Well, shocker.
Again,
Shocker, on the other hand,
Yeah.
I can't sign off on that. It's batshit crazy, but it's stupid and it's not fun the way. I don't know. I just see a big difference between those two movies.
I haven't
That's
seen
all.
Shocker in 30 years.
Dude, you'll be so disappointed. I hadn't seen it in a long time either, and it's like
It's
way
worth a
dumber
laugh
than-
though. It's fun. It's worth it for how fucking like you'll be seriously. They thought they could get away with this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brandon, you got to watch it again, man.
Yeah, you should watch it again. I mean, I know you're watching all the 2020. Honestly, I'm gonna guess. I don't know for a fact. I'm gonna say that Brandon, he may have watched more 2023s than we have, and we're gonna be doing the show. Well, I mean, he can come on too, of course, like
I
last year.
would like
but
to
I'm just
join.
saying.
I would like to join.
Good.
Absolutely.
Awesome. But have you
how
watched
many have
the
you
most?
watched?
Or watched the most? Sorry.
I have watched 67.
Oh my God.
My goal
Okay.
is 100. My goal this year was 100.
What am I at?
Well,
It's
you're
definitely
probably
lower
gonna
than
make
that.
it.
Yeah,
Buddy, I'm not even.
I'm
close.
at 39.
All right, that's not terrible.
I'm gonna count in a minute. And I think I'm at 33 now. Because what did I just see the last that just came out? What that's new? Let me think about this. I saw No One Will Save You. After I saw Saw, I saw Winnie the Pooh.
Do you agree
I'll
with
talk
me?
about that in a minute,
Okay,
dude.
I
Just give
wanted
me a
your
minute.
input. Okay,
Yeah,
good.
just give me a
Did
minute,
you
but
see
I
that
want to
one,
make.
Brandon?
I did. I'm surprised you're as low as you are. I'm
Me?
not
Okay.
high like everyone else is saying, one of the best movies of the year. I'm not there at all, especially because of the story elements in the end. But I thought, from a look and a feel standpoint, it felt very much like a Signs, which I really
loved that stuff.
Yeah, which I personally love. So up until the third act, I was probably, this is an 8 out of 10. And then I'm more like, at the end of the day, like, this is like a 7.
Okay, well, yeah.
Well, okay. So wait, what did you say, B?
You mean
that
C?
was B.
Or C?
I
apologize.
love the first act. Then I started thinking it was rinse and repeat. And then I thought the third act just sort of fell apart. And in the end, I was at a 6 out of 10. And then that end cap scene, I'm just like, fuck it. 5.5.
Oh, okay. Well, see, I'm a 7 as well. But I was mad high, dude. When I was watching this movie, I'm thinking, this is up my alley. I love scary alien stuff. I like what's going on here. I love that there's no dialogue. And all the sights they were showing, all of it worked for me. Everything worked in the movie as it's going. And then what they did in that damn third act, I could not believe. I never saw anything like that. again, I give it a 7. So I don't hate it, but I'm telling you,
It
I'm
dropped
watching
down
the
like
movie.
2 points, probably.
Probably I was probably like 8.5 error or something.
Yeah.
So I was like
Okay.
really into it. I'm like, man, this is great. And then, see, I don't know what I said last show, but I always say this. A lot of times when people complain about the ending to a movie, I'm the guy that usually likes the unconventional ending.
You did. You said, "I bet
Yeah.
I'll like it," but you
Right, I
did.
usually do. Oh my
Okay,
God,
good.
it was the worst.
Yes, thank you.
I cannot believe they went in that direction. I'm not saying that I needed a downer of an ending, but I mean that's the complete opposite, and it's for no good reason, and it's completely unexplained.
Yeah, it didn't
I
work. It just didn't
just
work. It didn't work for the
no.
film that we watched for the first, hour and 20 minutes or whatever.
And I know where they were going with some of the stuff with the reveal of what was it, her friend, and I get everything that went down. And then even when that one thing happened, and you're like, okay, I can explain that. Something went down, and who is this person? Either way,
Yeah.
the stuff but the alien stuff was great. The way the ships looked, the way the
Yeah.
aliens looked, the things they did. I was so in the moment. I was like, not scared, but I was like, it was creepy stuff. I'm like, this stuff
Dude,
works for
the
me.
alien in the house, the first encounter,
Yes.
Oh.
genuinely terrifying stuff.
No, I right on board. That's why I said
Yeah.
if it was I don't think you heard me because we only texted Brandon, but I said like the first act, like if there was a
Okay.
short film,
Yeah.
amazing. Carrie and I were on board. We were scared. We were on the edge of our seat, and and I'm like, what's happening here? Because, like I said, it was like carbon copy. So I'm like, okay, already, I'm already losing interest. Then it went into this other area, and I'm like, well, now I'm not on board. But okay, we got to finish this. And at the end, we both looked at each
She's
other. And
on
said,
board.
wow.
I'm not.
Yeah, it just felt like it started so great, and then it just
Yeah.
lost me completely.
Yeah.
But
I think
know.
we all kind of feel the same way about it then, just to different
yeah,
degrees.
just slightly different
Yeah,
degree.
like Dave and I wanted to like have this at number 1 for the year, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, it's bottom of the list or honorable mention.
Well, I'll tell you how great the
Crushing,
last
man.
weekend has been for me. This Thanksgiving weekend, Canadian Thanksgiving weekend, has been
Happy Thanksgiving.
three
Yeah.
movies, new watches are no question in my top 10, possibly even my top 5 that I watched for this already. So, like you're talking about a
Wow.
total flip of how many of boom, bang, bing of enjoyment that I got in the last, boom, bang, and bang. Enjoyable.
Sounds like a Chinese trio.
No, I tend to put. See, those are the jokes we
Yeah.
miss and we
How
don't
can
have
we-
anymore.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
We
That's
try.
true.
We try, but it's fewer and far further between. But the extent, like I Cobweb, I heard mixed things about this. I really
Ah.
freaking enjoyed that movie.
I still
I really
Okay.
enjoyed it. You
Everyone
didn't,
I-
Brandon?
I haven't seen it yet. No.
Okay.
Oh, I've seen it, and I will tell you this: I enjoyed it, but I don't love it. It's not like an 8 or higher. There's good reasons why. There's things about it that just made no sense to me. When the reveal gets revealed, it's kind of like the way I felt about what's that movie from last year? Barbarian. When the first time you watch it through, okay, there's this, and this, but then if you think about it, after all the reveals happen and everything else, and you go back and look at it, that doesn't make any sense now. And I really want to say what my problem is. I'll say this without spoiling it for B. The fact that a grandfather clock did supposedly what it did is piss poor. And to see if you're either going to catch on to that or not. When they
Yeah.
explain that, and then when you see what they're talking about, the fact that a grandfather clock could have that type of effect on the thing we're talking about, making it difficult to show itself, makes no sense. And then, just like Barbarian, why is this thing so friggin' strong?
Well,
It's things like that where I just can't.
Why is she so big in
liked it.
Barbarian? Why is she 30 feet tall?
Dude?
and your
don't even.
questions, your questions are valid, but I just thoroughly enjoyed it, and I just love the atmosphere, the look, the feel. I thought everybody did a great job, and I was like, it was generally scary. Like there's scary moments, but it did
There's
feel like
good stuff.
It felt like kind of almost a gateway horror to a degree, except that it does deliver on some some effects that I think would be a little bit more intense for younger viewers. So, but I was very pleased. But I will rewatch it. I'm gonna probably try
Well,
to
listen.
rewatch my top five by the end of the year. But I was both my daughter and I really enjoyed it. Like we were like
Okay,
this
I'm
was a lot of
glad.
fun. Yeah.
I'm glad you did, but next time you watch it, this is the most important thing about this movie, which didn't make sense. When we learn what we learn, think about the way the parents act throughout the movie and the way they're portrayed. There is literally no reason for them to be these type of people. When you see what you see later, it's like to take the audience along for a ride. Okay, these people are suspicious. You know what I mean? But then when we find out what we find out, we're like, well, wait a minute. And then there's a warning given by one of them. That's all of a sudden like, well, then why were you acting like this the whole movie if this is really what the problem was? That doesn't hold water.
Yeah,
It's stuff like that.
I can see that. I think
That's all I'm saying.
I wouldn't disagree with what you're saying there either. And again, being cryptic so that
Right.
Brandon will actually watch it and go in. Hopefully,
No,
He
I'm
will
definitely gonna
anyway.
watch it.
Go
I'll
look-
definitely watch it.
and the pumpkins that I think Ram Man posted or whatever was literally because they've got a pumpkin patch in the backyard. It wasn't like on display in their house.
I want to open a pumpkin patch and have like 3 pumpkins.
It's
That's it.
some
Three
squash.
pumpkin patch.
Yeah, and some parsley.
You prick. Let me just hold on one second here. Let's try this out again. It's been a while. Oh no, it's not working. I can't seem to. Oh, that is.
Well,
Jesus.
parsley is a great garnish for pumpkins.
Yeah,
So.
can't believe I just got ghost dadded.
Yeah,
I know. We haven't even talked about Ghost Dad in so damn long.
Ghost dadded.
been a
I
while.
still gotta watch it. I bought the DVD. You know.
The other one, I think this could have gotten a theatrical release, and I would have been very happy with it because I'm very happy with it just coming to Prime, which is Totally Killer.
All right,
Check
so I
it
gotta watch
out.
that too.
It's
Is
Yeah.
it comedy or no?
Did you watch
'Cause
it
the
or you
way
haven't watched it?
looks,
It is.
I have.
It's a dude, a beautiful blend of comedy horror because it's comedy. The script
Okay.
is smart as hell, and way better than it should be. And it's a little silly. I mean, it is if you know what the premise is. I don't know if you know the
I
premise.
don't. No, you know.
Okay,
me,
so I actually
I just
didn't
saw the
know.
picture.
Carrie was like, "Oh, is this the one that?" And I'm like, "I don't think so," but then yes, it is that one. So I won't say anything if you're going to go in totally blind. But there's
Yeah, I'll watch
a
it.
couple of movies that they compare it to. Yeah, like that, Brandon. That they compare it to that would sum it up. Would be like your elevator pitch for the movie. But funny. But when the horror kicks in, so when the slasher parts kick in, it's slasher. And that's the one thing, like you can say
Wow.
whatever. I love Final Girls, but Final Girls is actually pretty clean when it comes to
Yeah.
the kills. This one's vicious.
Nice. Okay. I'm in.
So
I'm gonna
I-
watch that in VHS 85, whatever, or whichever one the new one is.
Yeah,
I was
I
gonna
haven't seen
watch
that
them
yet.
today. So
Hope
those
to
are
watch that
two
too.
on my list. So did you watch it, B?
I haven't. I'm very
Okay.
slow. I've watched 67,
I'm
but
34.
I'm very methodical. It's a very methodical 67. I took your approach this year.
It's like
of
Jigsaw in
trailers.
his movies.
No, I am. There's a method to my madness this year. I'm at 76% success rate. 51 of my 67 movies are 6 or above, which is my criteria for a passing grade.
True.
And a
that's
lot of
fair.
my films that didn't pass are films that I bet people are going to have in their end of year lists. I have films in the 5s that people have at 8s and higher. Without
that-
Oh
a doubt.
wow, really?
Was that Talk to
Without-
Me? You didn't like Talk to Me, did you?
No, I did
Are you
like Talk to Me.
serious?
I'm
Oh.
I'm a 7.5 on Talk to Me.
Okay.
I feel like it just missed being next level. I have a lot of 7.5s this year. A lot of 7 to 7.5s this year.
You know what? So do I, but I only have 8 movies below a 7 out of the 34 I've watched. So I'm still actually doing pretty good considering
Yeah.
when I think about it. Yeah, like
and basically
yeah.
that's where I am. I'm at 15 of 15 or 16. 15. No,
Oh,
16.
well, that's
15 or 16 that are below a 6, which I've become a very tough grader. I think my highest grade right now is an 8. but I have probably like 7 or 8 8s.
7 or 8 8s.
Any
Okay, well,
any
gonna
hidden
tell you.
gems that like we should check out that maybe people are not talking about that you've kind of come across or
I honestly thought the angry black girl and her monster is a really unique spin on the Frankenstein tale. So
I'm watching that. It's been on my list for a
yeah,
while. I'm waiting for my family though.
yeah, no, I think I
You
I
know,
really feel like Dave might like that one the most.
I think I will,
Yeah, I
based on what
really
I
do.
know.
Yeah, it's a very well done film. What else did I watch recently? You know what was really good? It's listed as a Tubi original. It's called Godless.
Hmm.
It's a
a
true
to be
story
original.
a true story in Australia about a botched exorcism.
Really? Okay, I'll
Yeah.
look into that.
I
Godless. I never watched a Tubi original. I'll tell you.
this is the first Tubi original I watched, and since then I watched one more that's listed as a Tubi original, and I've liked both of them.
Wow, really?
Usually it's the other way for me. Those ones are like the to avoid list.
Right.
Yeah,
I
no,
wouldn't even
This is
watch
good
it.
to hear. Okay.
I was surprised to see it listed as a Tubi original because I go online. I was typing in, 2023 best horror films or hidden gem horror movies and reading different articles from different publications. And one of them had Godless on like their top 20 list or top 30 list. And I was like, let me check this
Huh.
out. And
Why
I found
can't
it.
I? Oh, is it called Godfield, the Eastfield Exorcism?
Yeah, Godless, the Eastfield Exorcism.
Okay, let's see. I have a 3-star and a 1.5. You didn't record it. So looking at this, I have nothing, but it's a 3.2. Of course, this is all, what do you call it? It's letterbox. So I'm looking at, doesn't look bad. 3.5, 3.5.
I'm right
I mean,
there.
not
Three,
not
three,
terrible.
3.5 out of 5 is a good rating for me. But it's a true
Well,
story, and
uh-huh.
based on what I read of the true story, it holds pretty true to it. It obviously adds some fictional stuff to it to elaborate the story, and it's really well done.
Dude,
I think
that
it's just
cover is
the covers
it's horrendous. Look at that.
yeah.
For anyone that's watching it.
Yeah, I looked at
It's
it too.
horrible. Oh my, the way that demon looks
I'll
is
tell
the
you what,
cheapest
you
freaking
do see
thing.
the demon like that in a couple of sequences throughout the film, and it looks better in the film. But yeah, that cover art can definitely
Minga.
that makes another evil look like
Minga.
How about another evil? I didn't realize till the other day that, oh wait, you guys don't watch it, do you? B, if you haven't watched it by now, if you haven't watched freaking What We Do in the Shadow TV show, I've given up because
I haven't watched it yet.
so fucking great. Oh my god. Well, then bottom line is that Colin Robinson, who was a character from that show, it was from Another Evil. He was the guy with the glasses, and I didn't realize
Oh
it was
yeah,
only
I
the
know
other
who you're
day.
talking about. Doesn't he play like the guy who can put people to sleep because he's so boring in What We
Oh,
Do in
he's
the
an
Shadows?
energy vampire. He's a
Oh,
vampire,
okay.
but he's an oh, dude. That show is so damn good. As
I
great
got
as
I
that movie
I gotta
is,
get to it. I gotta get to it.
I can't tell you how I'm telling you, it is awesome. It is awesome. But I'm pretty happy with TV. Period. I mean, I've only saw the first 2 episodes of American Horror Story, which everybody hates now. All of a sudden, and
What, the new one,
what
The
else am I?
Delegate?
Yeah. Just in general, it's just such a hated on show all of a sudden. It's crazy. Like even the people that are supposed to be fans of it have turned on it. And I think it's still great. But that show and The Changeling and From are all really good shows.
Yeah,
And
The Changeling sounds interesting. I heard Shining Vale is really good.
I don't know about that one.
With Courtney Cox, I think it's on Stars.
Really? No, I'll look it up. I didn't know anything about it. But
Yeah, I haven't heard that
those,
either.
yeah, those are the shows I've been watching. So I don't know, but I got to tell you guys to absolutely. Oh, okay. While I have B here, let's get his opinion on this. Did you see Nefarious?
I didn't.
Oh, well, then forget about it. How do you not see Nefarious? The guy sees 70 movies compared to my 34, and half the things I bring up, he's not even seeing.
Isn't
It's
it like
crazy.
a Christian film?
Well, see, that's
Well,
why. See, that's
Yeah,
a
you gotta
bad.
see it though.
That's what it's not. But the
It's
people
not?
on a certain side want to make it sound like it's just one thing while ignoring something else in the movie. So it's gotten this reputation. But I asked C to watch it. He watched it and he feels the same way I do. It's just
Mhm.
watch it. I mean,
Shocking.
people are they're cherry picking
All right.
one aspect of it and ignoring another to try to support an agenda.
All right,
And
then
that's really sad.
I will add it to the list.
Yeah, check it, because when you see what's at stake here, I think I really loved it. To be honest with you, it was my kind of movie. It was two characters, and the dialogue was great, and the performance was great. So I was wrapped up into it. So you didn't see that? Okay, well, When Evil Lurks is a must see.
Yeah,
just saw
it
it.
hasn't been
Yeah.
playing anywhere close by, but I know it comes on Shudder in like 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay, good to hear, because one theater in Toronto is playing it, and I'm gone all week. So I was trying to look for listings in Ottawa region. No, it's nowhere to be found. But I'm gonna go
Wow.
see The Exorcist when I'm up there, and Believer, and I'm gonna see the other one's also playing. That's in theaters now. Oh God, in something. I'll have to look it up. Like there's a lot of horror films in theater right now. Like
Yeah.
surprisingly,
Not
like,
not the It Lurks Within or whatever.
yes, that
or
one.
It Lives Inside. I heard that one's really bad.
Is it? Okay. I
I
thought I
haven't
heard some
seen it, but
positive. It Lives
oh,
Inside
okay.
was what I'm talking
It
about.
Lives Inside. Yeah,
It
I don't know.
lives inside. Why don't I think I've heard the title. I didn't know it was a theater thing.
Yeah,
Well,
I think
it's
I got it.
yeah, it's playing at it's actually got a pretty decent run. This is what they should be
Wow.
doing with these movies. I mean, pop them into theaters and hope for the best. Like, I mean, this is what I want. Like the Nun 2's in theaters, whether you like it or not. It's besides the point. The Nun 2, The Exorcist in Venice, or A Haunting,
Ex-
The Exorcist in Venice, A
What
Haunting in
happened?
Venice.
The Nun 2, The Exorcist in Venice? That's the name of the movie?
Yeah, That's it. Yeah, it's a Tubi original. Uh,
I didn't see
A
The Nun
Haunting,
2, by the way.
A
Did you
But
Haunting
I
see
in
will.
Venice.
Did you see The Nun Takes Manhattan?
That's coming
Can't wait.
next.
Yep.
I have no desire to see The Nun 2, even when it's free streaming. I was so bored by the first one.
See, the
Ah,
first
I
one
liked
just
it,
looked.
but I only saw
So
it
did
once.
I only saw it once too, but I liked how it looked.
Me
Like
too.
more so, like it was just so good to look at.
It was
Well,
gothic.
I'll buy the slipcover then.
Well, not the cover.
No
art.
movie. Just give
Yeah.
me the slipcover. I like the way you look.
I should watch it. I have to watch The Nun 2. I have to watch the other one, the Pope's Exorcist, which I wasn't going to watch, but more and
not
more
watching
people
it.
are saying maybe check it out. So I'm like, okay, I'll give it a
See,
shot.
I saw the documentary on the real priest, the Father Amort, before he passed away. They did a whole documentary on him, and it was an interesting documentary. But I don't want to see a fictionalized movie on it. It's like once you see the
I didn't even
documentary,
know.
yeah,
I had no idea it was based on something.
yeah, the devil and Dr. Amort, I think is the name. Of
Morta. Huh. I don't
Or
know.
that.
Dr.
Nefarious.
Morta. Damn. Well, I'll tell you, It Lives Inside. 2 people gave it like a 2.5, but most people, the average on this movie, I see people have 4s on there, 3.5, 3.5, another 4. It's very mixed. So It Lives Inside does have its fans.
Yeah,
So,
I think it
I'm curious.
premiered at Fantasia. I think whoever went to Fantasia, they're posting reviews of the movies they saw. I think they said that stood out, but I could be confusing it with When Evil Lurks, and I just know that everybody's raving about that and how nasty that movie is. But what I hate is when people say, no, that's a possession movie and fuck The Exorcist Believer and whatever. There seems to be a lot of hate for The Exorcist Believer. And it's, I think, because of Halloween Ends.
I don't know.
Well, yeah.
I saw the trailer for the new Exorcist, and when I saw her face, now I'm a believer.
I saw, man, beautiful.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
Well, dude,
We're gonna end the
I
show
saw
on
The
that note.
Exorcist.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that's
You
it.
saw
We're
it.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw The Exorcist Believer, and it's not very good and it's not bad. But I still rated it kind of high considering. I still gave it like a 7. So I did enjoy my time with it. It fits enough in the Exorcist timeline where it's hard to explain. I don't want to get into it and bore everybody for 10 minutes. We reviewed it last night. Actually, it's going to be on Jay of the Dead's new horror movies. But the thing is this: it's some of the way that they look and the way they talk and some things going on, and of course a legacy character, and that to me is what fits it into the Exorcist, family. You know what I mean? The thing is, would it have been cool if they just took the same premise and did it without including the Exorcist? It could have worked, but the problem they face is what everybody faces. When you make an Exorcist movie, when you have a girl possessed and you do the stuff and you try to do anything like it, everyone's going to call it a ripoff. So in this case, the fact that it's part of this, this franchise, and there are a couple things that tie it in, and there's a couple Easter eggs and whatnot, and it works, but by no means, and there's no comedy, which is good, but by no means does it belong. There should not be any more. Like, it was a proposed trilogy, they said. I don't see how it could be, because it's left not open-ended. It's just like, this is what happens, and there you go. But it's basic exorcism stuff, and it's cool because there's two girls, and that's something I haven't seen before. Two people possessed at once.
Was there one cup?
Yeah, two girls.
Two girls, one.
They just take a turn shitting in it. I don't know what those sounds are, by the way.
I don't know.
That's shit throwing possession.
But dude, people are gonna hate this movie for sport, and that's what they're doing, and that's what goes on a lot.
That's my favorite sport now.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. People are doing it. Happens all the time, man. People put up a thing, Rotten Tomatoes. Oh, I can't believe I said that word out loud. First time in my life, I think I've said that. But either way, people put the
Rotten
thing up.
Tomatoes?
Yeah, I don't acknowledge its existence. I can't.
Honestly, I don't even understand how it works, because some of the best movies ever don't even have a decent rating. So I can't even use it as a guide.
Friday the 13th, the final chapter, has the same rating on that site as Exorcist Believer. So you tell me, by the critics. So it doesn't matter. I don't care what the critics say. And of course they're going to pan it. But everybody jumped all over it and says, okay, this is going to be bad because, well, I didn't like the Halloween stuff. This is going to be bad. Stay out of our things. Nobody should do anything with The Exorcist. Nobody cares that they did all those other things, apparently, except part 3. And they come down on it. And then, the early feedback at the screenings was it wasn't good. And this, everybody was piling on. And it was almost like somebody preparing for a war. It was like everybody had their guns cocked already and their fingers on the freaking, shoot the freaking weapon button before it even came out. Then they heard a little bit, one or two things that were bad, and everybody jumped all over it. Says, okay, we're all going to hate this movie for sport, because that's what people do. And it's the hate wagon, but it's not a bad movie. It's just not, I'm going to say, don't bother seeing it at the theater. Wait till it comes home. But I don't always say that. Like, When Evil Lurks, even though it's coming out in a couple weeks to Shudder, I would still go see it at the theater if you could, because you're not going to see
that one. I have no option. That one I have no option.
I
like I said, based on one theater. I don't even know if it's playing past this weekend there, and that was it. I'm not going to be anywhere near Toronto this weekend. So,
well, I'll tell you what. You know what it reminds me of in a way, as far as the tone and things going on, it kind of reminds me of a movie that I love, The Dark and the Wicked. That's what When Evil Lurks kind of reminds me of. It's that type of thing. It's not like it, but it's familiar to it, I would say. There's similarities in the feel and the way it looks. This is what is it? Spanish? What the hell is it?
Spanish. I think it's
okay.
Spanish.
Well, you don't always see a movie at the theater like that very much. That's a movie that usually comes home. You know what I mean? It's just an independent flick. The fact that it's at the theater is, and there's some good ass gore kills, man.
That's what I heard. I heard it's brutal.
Some good stuff, man. Something at the end rubbed me wrong plot wise. I'm like, well, maybe the next time I watch it, I'll figure it out. But I was enjoying the ride, I'll tell you that. So that's all I got for new ones. I haven't watched anything else. I've been watching, just whatever comes to mind for October,
Oh, same. I ended up watching like the first few Saws just to get me before we went to see the other one, just cause why not? And some usual early October watches, but the Queen's Gambit, because I never did watch that when it first came out, and
it's a show,
that was the
right?
trade-off show. Yeah, 7 episodes long. We finished it today. Great show. Like everybody said, it was fantastic. Great to look at. Costumes are good. The acting is great. The story's great.
Okay.
I mean, it's
Is
just it's worth checking out. I mean, and it's the one thing that as the story progressed and Carrie and I kept talking about because she had watched it already, was that the characters don't act or let's say they're not what you expect them to be. If you think someone's going to be a bitch or this is I know where they're going to go with this, they play against convention, and that's what I loved about it. I don't know if you saw it, Brandon, but like it's almost like I think, okay, I see what's going to happen here. Nope. I see what I think is going to happen here. Nope. Every time, it's pretty much nobody does what you expect them to do. Which I love when
I'll watch
they
it.
play that because you're just so used. It's like they play with your expectations, and thinking, okay, we're gonna. And it's not even a head fake. They're not really setting it up. They're presenting you something, but based on how many things you've watched, you're like, okay, so and so is going to be this or so and so is going to be that, and it's not the case at all. And that's just one aspect of it. But I love that, not playing or playing with conventions, and in this case character traits or what you assume would be a character trait, but it's not. It ends up not being.
Nice, man.
All right, that's a list too.
I'll watch it. I know Anya's in it. She's the lead, right?
Yeah, I mean it's not horror whatsoever.
No, I know
but
that.
It's
It's
beautifully
chess
made.
horror.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Oh, speaking of chess, I finally watched that movie, man. 5150 Elm's Way. It took me so long to finally get to that movie. Because I finally did get it, but it came without subtitles, so it was just in French. So even then I couldn't watch it. But on my MB now, I requested to have the ability to download subtitles. And what you can do is if they have the movie and they don't have the subs, there's like a built-in search in the option in closed captions, and you could search for, like you would anywhere for online subtitles, and then they get put into the movie. So I finally watched it, and what a great flick, man.
I'm glad because I remember you thought you saw it and you were describing the movie to me, and it was called 5150 something. It was like something like that, and like nothing to do with Van Halen. And I'm just it was about some ghosts or something. I'm like, that's not the movie. But what a creepy like sort of take. I remember there being some frustration. I ended up rewatching it, and I liked it just as much the second time. But I remember being some frustration of just get the fuck out. But I think they explain it, or based on the situation the character's in, I think you could say, well, he couldn't really, or when he did finally do it, it played out the way that it
made sense.
It only could. It didn't feel forced or anything. When they're in those moments and you're just like, fuck, move, get out of there. I think, Brandon, you had that problem with Speak No Evil. Was it Speak No Evil?
Oh my God, yeah.
A lot of people.
Yeah, I enjoy the hell out of that.
I hate that movie. That was like my Tragedy Girls from last year.
Wow.
That's my new Tragedy Girls. It's like, get it away from me.
I just read a post, Dave. I think we might all be friends with them. I don't remember who it was off the top of my head, but I just know that he's in the horror community here, and he's like, I don't understand when people can say they hate a movie. Like, it's just a movie. I'm like, yeah, but movies have an emotional impact, and it's just a way to describe things. Typically, we just say we like, we love, we like, we dislike, we hate. Like, I don't understand why you wouldn't say that. It doesn't, like, I get it. It's just a film. And I know hate is such a strong reaction, but wouldn't love a movie be such a strong reaction too? Since it's just a movie? I mean, these
hate
are supposed
is my go-to reaction.
Well, but if it's supposed to elicit emotion and response, I think it's a valid critique. And like, I think we also talk passionately about film. So that's the difference. So I disagree wholeheartedly with the ability or the inability to use hate as a descriptor.
Whoever brought this up, I hate this person.
They're probably a patron. We don't even know it.
Oh,
you just started a feud.
Well, I hate you. No, I'm sorry.
No. It's someone within the horror realm, and on our page, but not a patron but
is it that Mr. Watson guy?
No, it's not. He's been very.
Maybe they're like me.
He's not on Facebook much anymore.
Yeah, I hate
No,
that guy.
he's smart. No, maybe he's like me, and he just doesn't like the use of hate for something that necessarily doesn't deserve it. Like, I try not to use the word hate for anything. I mean, I could say that I hate a freaking, a pedophile, someone that's touched children, or someone that's raped. I could reserve that word hate only for something extreme where I really hate it. And you're like, well, yeah, it makes sense to, if you're going to hate anything, to hate stuff like that. But to hate a piece of art is completely. So I think I know where he's coming from.
Well,
Maybe
that's exactly his
but-
descriptor. He said you can hate a Nazi propaganda film from 1930s,
It
but
always
I'm
comes
like,
back to the Nazis. Always comes back to the Nazis.
but no, but come on, Spookies is not art. I can simply say I hate it, even though I just don't understand why people would like it. I don't. What is there really to like? But okay, that's
Spookies
fine.
did more damage than the Nazis ever did. I'll tell you. So
But
I hate it.
we do talk in extremes, and because film elicits emotion. I mean, I don't understand how you can't use it, even if it's an aggressive or like, I don't know, like an extreme term. But that's
Well,
exactly his argument is exactly what you were. I think you're saying his argument, Dave.
Well, yeah, but
essentially.
you do make sense. But the opposite side is I can see where you're coming from as well, because if we are able to say that we love something,
They were
and it's
making
just a
love.
movie, then then why is it a sin to say the opposite? So
Yeah.
I do understand where you're coming. I almost
Absolutely.
feel like I should stop using the word love for movies because I don't want to
Well,
use the word hate.
Well, then
Look,
people just
seriously, it's
use
making
they,
me-
they just take out the thesaurus and go, "I adore this film," or "I adore." It's the same fucking thing. You're just
You're
changing the
right.
wording. And I'm not saying you. I'm just saying people in general. So I'm like, that's what we do. We talk about fucking filming. Like, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm out of ways to describe it. I could just say this is what I didn't like about a movie or whatever. But I'm still using the term "didn't like."
No,
I don't understand then how to I hate the fucking thing. I hate
I'm
this
not that angry.
conversation.
I hate this
everything.
conversation. I adore Nazi Germany. I hate this conversation.
I can't say I hate anything like that. I really try not to, but I have said before that I hate Jason Goes to Hell and Halloween Resurrection. And part of me hates a movie that I actually like. So how does that make any sense? But I hate the fact that what they did in that, what do you call it? That Ty West that Jonestown nonsense.
Oh, Sacrament.
Sacrament. See, yeah, I own the Sacrament, and I could watch it again, and I think it's well made and it's a good story. But I hate that everybody reacted to it like it was the Second Coming when it was just a freaking watered down version, 10 times less than the actual events of Jonestown, and they don't even acknowledge.
Wasn't it a Kool-Aided down version?
Watered down Kool-Aid. Yes,
Watered
that's
down.
about it.
That's better.
Yeah, what's the worst type of Kool-Aid? There's got to be like a ghetto ass version of Kool-Aid,
Tang.
Like Tang. Wasn't that for the astronauts though?
Yeah.
They wouldn't give the astronauts ghetto stuff.
No. Tang. Was that for the astronauts? That's where it came from?
Yeah.
That was the whole gimmick.
It's the orange powder that they used to drink in space.
Yeah.
Shit, I didn't even know. I just remember eating the powder as a kid, not even mixing it.
That's,
that's
almost as bad as Dave's favorite sauce, plain.
Yeah.
Hey,
My
now.
favorite,
Well, hold
my
on.
favorite wing sauce, plain.
I didn't say it was my favorite.
It's never not funny.
I know. Yeah, it's true. Okay, but Tang.
Can I get this with my buttered toast for Christmas, please?
I used to eat Tang too, see?
Tang
Out of the
too.
freaking with a spoonful.
Hey, I knew that guy too. He's Asian also. Tang 2C.
Tang 2C. Awesome. He's like a big director, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, I love those. I love Tang 2C's movies.
He's doing the new Ju-on film.
Oh
shit. So is there anything else when
Poo-tang.
you were a kid that you used to eat that's like, okay, I used to eat two things that are weird, but I would go into my mom's
Ass
my
and pussy.
mom's
Yeah,
cabinets,
sorry.
and I would eat bouillon cubes, and I would eat dry
Boy, on
Lipton cup of soup.
the chicken stock.
Yeah,
Yeah.
chicken and beef, those little cubes that you put in the thing. I would eat them sometimes when I was a kid. I would get into the thing and I would eat them. It was like
It's
a
wondering
norm. I
why his
liked them.
memory is fucking shot to shit. The
You got
MSG
bullion
is
on
just
the
like
brain. You got bullion brain.
Maybe that's it. Oh,
Just
What
soup
about-
up there. Just soup up there.
Bouillon brain.
remember cup of soup?
I love
Oh
cup
fuck!
of soup.
The cup of
I used
soup
to eat
is-
it dry. I used to freaking break in,
That's
rip
crazy.
off the envelope.
Break in.
It's delicious. It was delicious. Well, here's a funny thing. Francesca eats,
Dry
and
pasta.
I've done it too,
Dry
dry
pasta.
ramen. And I
Okay.
used to eat, it's the same type of thing.
Yeah.
So she'll get the ramen and just eat the dry noodles. Now I've done that before, but except I've put the chicken, the flavoring that comes with it on there. And I would rather eat it that way than freaking warmed up and in a bowl and all that stuff. It just tastes better. But it's a
That's fucking
similar
cuckoo.
thing. I'm just mad that cup of soup stopped. you know?
Appetizers of dry ramen and bouillon at Dave's house.
I don't know what it is, but my memory's shit.
I've actually heard of this. I've heard of people eating dry ramen and dry noodles. I mean, I used to eat dry pasta as a kid.
So did I. I was
well,
throwing
there
it.
you
I
go.
threw it into the pot, and then I'd pull it out like 1 second in boiling water. Start eating it.
Right?
I still do it to this day.
No, we used to do it directly out of the box. We take a box. It was during like story time when like my mom would read to us. We would each take like each get a pack of
Now,
spaghetti.
now eat your spaghetti.
Really?
Yeah,
You would get it right out of the box and just eat it
right
like long
out of the
piece
box and
spaghetti?
eat it.
That's
Probably why
awesome.
my teeth are awful now.
Oh, yeah. Mom, can't we cook this? Shut up, Brandon. Boiling water costs money. Boiling water. You have to. It's the least amount of cooking you need to do. You got to boil some water and throw the noodles in for like 10 minutes. But I get it.
Yeah,
I
but
do
it
it
tastes,
too.
it tastes better without it. It tastes better without being wet.
I can't say I never did because we had,
Try
Lipton soup. Lipton soup would have like, it would be in the bottom. The stock would be there and kind of all like stuck together. And yeah, I'd be lying to say I didn't take a piece out and pop it in every now and then. But that would be like one or two times in my life, not like
Okay. But
crazy.
I know you didn't eat what I eat. I know you didn't eat what I ate, but did you guys have anything like that that you haven't ever mentioned that you would eat? When you weren't supposed to eat it when you were a kid, but something edible. I don't mean an eraser or some shit like that. I mean,
my mom would give me she would make her special meatballs. And it would be but it would be all in the meat, and she'd show me how to roll them. So I'd wash my hands and I'd roll them and whatever. And I'd be watching TV and I'd roll them and I'm like, smells good. I'd start eating it. This was raw
meat.
fucking meat,
Oh,
raw
me too.
meat.
I
But
like raw
whatever
meat.
she
Yeah.
did, it made it taste so fucking good. But
Mhm.
that was like bacteria. I'm shocked I didn't get sick. It's probably why I've got an iron stomach right now. I am shocked. I was just
I ate it too.
raw, red fucking meat.
I did too. Only like ground beef style though. Like if someone put a steak in front of me, there's no way I could eat that raw. But back in the day, I could do it if it was like ground beef, like rolled into meatballs. Something I could do it. It's weird. Yeah.
It's like tartar.
Yeah.
Steak
Yeah.
tartare.
Yeah. Steak tartare. Gross. I couldn't do that.
Actually, I don't
That
mind
juice.
it either.
From
I
what
like
I
that.
know about it, it
It's
looks
good.
pretty gross. Oh my god.
Tuna tartare, that's good too.
Ugh, fuck tuna. Oh,
Really?
God, oh my god, it's the worst shit. That's not the worst, but pickles are really bad. Tuna's really bad. Mustard,
How do you eat
mayonnaise.
pussy?
I love pussy. I'll tell you that. But
I'm not a mustard person anymore. I love pickles though.
oh, pickles, the smell of them, I just want to throw up. I can't stand the smell of it.
You don't like pickles? Not
Oh,
even
I
like their
hate-
sweet dill.
There's the word hate.
Great.
That's how
Yeah,
bad
there
I
you
don't
go.
like them. No,
I
seriously. They were not
immensely
allowed
dislike
around
'em.
me. They're not allowed. When I lived at my parents' house, after my dad moved out, after they split, I had the downstairs. That used to be the living room or the family room. It became my bedroom. Well, I had a rule. There's certain things you cannot bring in this room, and one
No
of them is
pickles
pickles.
in my bedroom.
Nope, I don't want to smell a pickle. Nothing is worse than a potato salad or egg salad or any.
Bring those raw
Nothing.
ramen noodles.
Ugh, yeah, that's
even
fine.
say
There's
it.
no smell to it. I don't want to. I don't want to put something in my mouth that I don't like the smell of it. I just don't. Just like pussy. If a pussy doesn't smell right, I wouldn't eat it.
Yeah.
Bottom line, that's just the way it is. But it's like, if I don't know how people can eat fucking potato salad or egg salad.
What?
It literally
love
It
it.
literally
Love it.
smells. It smells 100% like someone took a fucking shit on a plate, and you're
Oh,
putting that in your mouth.
If potato salad came in a big toilet bowl, I'd be like just.
How could you even consider something that smells like that? It's like,
egg salad, potato salad.
oh god, I
or
could
mi-
vomit fucking thinking of it. That's how
would
much
do
I hate it.
I'd eat it out of a toilet bowl. I'd eat it out of your ass.
You don't care that it smells that fucking way, that eggy.
I'd whip it
fucking
up
stink?
beautiful for you too. I'd whip the egg up.
I love
you-
that sulfur egg smell.
Oh,
Dude. When I lived at my parents' house, 100%, this is not for shock value or not to. This is something we legitimately used to do, my brother and I. Anytime my mother made that fucking egg salad or potato salad, it would infest the whole fucking house. And we would remember that. I don't know if you guys remember, but in the NFL on Monday Night Football, they used to have this thing called "You Make the Call," and there would be like a play, and you're trying to see how the refs would call the play. They would say the fumble went here, out of bounds, whatever the hell it was, and they would go to commercial. It was a commercial, but they're like, "You make the call. Is it this or is it this?" And then they will go to a commercial, and they will come back and say, "If you guess this, you were right." Well, anytime that happened, we used to say, "You make the call." Did Fran make her famous egg salad, or did Dave take a shit? Like, it smelled the same as if I took a fucking nasty shit in the bathroom and didn't spray it. That is the same fucking smell
what
that would be
eggs did your
downstairs
mom
in the
use?
Yeah,
Jeez.
Dude, anything. It's not just her. I smelled it all over the fuck
if
everywhere.
if you ever took a shit that smelled like egg salad, I would request that you stop using mud flaps immediately.
Yeah,
Just let me- just
exactly.
let-
It happened. A mud flap just saved me like fucking 3 weeks ago. I forgot to tell you guys. It happened. Twice it saved me now. I got up. I put a mud flap in. I got my toilet paper. When I came back, I took it out. I looked, and sure enough, it did its job. So had I not put that up there, I'd have shit on the floor or, on my leg or something. My
Shit on the
thigh.
floor, bouillon on the brain.
I just don't understand. I just don't know why. Like egg salad, it's so good. Potato
Yeah, I
salad,
love
it's
it.
good.
I
Eggs,
get
period.
this.
Like Easter
I
eggs,
get the
the
smell,
boiled
but
egg.
I love it.
Ugh. How could you put something in your mouth that smelled that way? It makes no sense to me. I cannot understand anybody
like
eating
sushi?
something that smelled like shit. No, I tried sushi once and it just tasted like fucking seaweed. So that was
Yeah,
the
I'm
end
not
of it
a
for
I'm
me.
not a big sushi person anymore. I've actually
Oh,
lost my
wow.
taste for fish lately.
I love sushi and sashimi, whatever. I can have it with the rice. I could just have it, just chunks of fish. That sounds gross, but you know what I mean. In a toilet bowl,
Fish.
of course. Like everything, I want everything served on a toilet bowl.
I don't think I could eat out of a toilet bowl, even if you put a fucking.
No, actually, it's
lobster in
making
it.
me kind of sick thinking about it. The more I visualize eating off a toilet, like, it's not. It's gonna go where it's gonna start gagging like in a second. So
See, I was just
Yeah.
picturing the toilet water, like putting.
I
something
would
in
eat
it.
chocolate pudding out of a toilet bowl
Oh.
with a big giant glass of bouillon on the side.
A glass of bouillon. They're fucking just cubes,
Yeah.
They're like sugar cubes. Would you eat a sugar cube as a kid? I bet you would. if
Oh,
you saw one.
absolutely.
Oh yeah,
I get it,
had
Dave.
sugar
I don't
cube.
think it's that weird. I've definitely tried the bouillon cubes before, but I could see you putting it in, making a glass of hot boiling water and then putting it in, like you were drinking
No,
tea
you
or
bite
something.
No, you
No, I
bite. It's a
get.
cube. Eat a little bit at a time. You
No,
don't
I
even.
know.
I mean, you chew
But
it. It's nice.
Yeah, but if you had it with hot water, it'd just be like drinking some nice stock.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Well, that's what at the hockey rink or the ice rink that was across the street from where I grew up. That's what you'd go to. You remember those old like vending machines or whatever? It'd be like chicken noodle soup. It was just fucking hot water
Yeah.
and chicken mix, like the bouillon stuff, like mixed in. maybe if you're lucky, like two sun-dried or like hydrated peas and carrots would fall into the cup as well to give it a little bit of color. That's about it.
Peas and carrots.
Pears and carrots.
Here's something else I used to eat. At the pizzeria, because we had pizza dough, so we would cut them into small balls and this and that, put them in the thing, and then they go on the pan. I would eat raw pizza dough all the time as we're freaking after the dough's getting mixed up and stuff. Nothing bad ever happened to me. I never fucked up my stomach that way, or all the stuff we did when we were kids that was supposed to be so bad for us, cookie dough, raw cookie dough, everything else that's supposed to be so terrible.
Cake batter with the eggs mixed in.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Yeah.
I never got sick from it, or do I remember any kid that got sick from it? No.
We used to lick the beaters.
Oh, all the time.
Oh,
love licking a good beater.
Oh,
that was it. When your mom was
So
doing any baking or whatever, who wants to lick the beater? I lick that
Oh.
thing clean as a whistle.
Oh, no doubt, man.
It was her nipples, but then I'm sorry. Wow. Sorry, Mom.
Oh, I got to tell you guys what happened last night.
Oh God.
Oh, my God.
What? How was that the segue into? I got to tell you what happened last night.
Because my mind is.
That's always alarming.
Because my mind is fucked. It has literally nothing to do with anything we've been talking about. It's just that
thank
it
God.
happened.
Thank God.
And I even
to be
told
honest.
anyone.
Yeah. Oh no.
No, last night I'm getting ready to go to bed, and I always do kind of at the end of the night. I kind of make sure I know where all the cats are. Just acknowledge where they're at. You know what I mean? I come down, I say goodnight to Ginny. She has a thing we do. It's like a little ritual we do at night, and I make sure I know where they all are. You know,
So nipples.
No, I couldn't find Lucky, but Lucky was with me just a couple hours before. So I'm like, well, wait a minute. The only time I opened any door was to let Bailey out in the backyard to go potty. And let me tell you, I don't freaking open it long enough because Oreo's trying to get out all the time. So I only open it enough. It's a sliding glass door, and I have like a little flashlight, but it's really bright. It's like one of those cat toy ones, but it's a flashlight too. So I held it up so Bailey could see back there when she goes off the steps because she's getting older and her eyesight isn't what it is. So I do that and I hold it up, but literally it's the size of my freaking arm here, which isn't big, you know? So there's no way a cat is running through this. And I'm fighting off Oreo as is. And Lucky would never run out that way. Like Ginny and Oreo are the aggressive ones about going in the backyard, where the other two, they want to go out there, but they're not as forceful about it. So they're like, that's just the way they are. So now I cannot find this cat anywhere. I'm looking all around the house, all the places he could be that I haven't, not the obvious. I cannot find this cat anywhere. Now I'm looking for 10, 15 minutes. Finally, I knock on Francesca's room when she's asleep. I said, listen, is Lucky in there with you? She says, no. I'm like, well, you better look around, look under your bed, look here, look there. I want to look under my bed. Because, cats can go into places. So I'm looking all over the place. Now, Irene is in London. She's been gone. She went there for the Bills game. The Bills played on Sunday. So she went there with a friend, and she's Buckingham Palace, the Jack the Ripper tour, this, that. She's doing all this London stuff. So it's a 4 or 5 day trip. So now
the Bills were playing in London.
Yeah. NFL does London now. Yeah. Yep. So that was that. So no, it's all good, man. The NFL is a freaking whatever. So now I cannot find this cat. Now Lucky is her baby. I mean, he's such a baby and he's very attached to us, but especially her. And I cannot find this cat. I don't know what's going on. Francesca and I look everywhere. Finally, I'm like, well, the only time he could have gotten outside is in that moment, and it would not have happened. There's no way this cat's outside, but you still have to look. You got to save yourself sanity. But it's dark. It's freaking midnight, and I can't see nothing. I go outside. I'm looking in the backyard. I come in the house. We're looking around again inside the house. Can't find it. Finally, I said, I'm just going to go out in our front lawn and walk up and down the street with a light, knowing that there's no way. And I told Francesca that those are words. I said, I'm telling you, there's no way I think he's outside, but I don't know what else to do right now. I can't go to sleep. I'm bugging out about all this stuff. So I said, listen, you stay in the house and you keep looking. So now I'm outside and I'm walking and I'm bugging out. What the hell could have happened to this cat? If he got out, number one, he's deaf. So you can't call him. There's nothing you could do. And now every scenario is going through my head. Huh? Sido.
Yeah, Sido. Signed to him.
Jim Seidow.
James Von Sydow.
Right. Dude, I was freaking out, man, because I'm thinking, what am I going to tell Irene? There's nothing I could say because I'm the only one that opened up any action to the outside at any point, even though I know there's no way he could have gotten out. No way. The fact that I opened that thing.
When you were checking out Big Ben, Lucky fucking escaped. Maybe if you were here, it would have happened. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Dave.
Dude, I was freaking out. I'm thinking, what? Then my imagination gets crazy because it's October and he's a black cat. I'm thinking, oh my God, what if fucking he got into the wrong hands of somebody? What are we gonna do? He has a chip in him, but he doesn't have a collar. But I'm thinking, what if seriously, what if you got kidnapped and they fucking beat him to death? This poor baby. That's what they do to fucking cats in October. People hate fucking black cats. Anyone that's a black cat owner knows. They say, keep an extra eye on your black cat in October because people fucking do fucked up rituals involving black cats and they fucking kill them. So now this guy is such a sweet little baby. And I'm thinking, oh my God, what if I did something and he's fucking, for the rest of my life, I'm never going to know what happened to this fucking cat. And I'm going to be fucked up because of it. Like I would have a complete, everything that's happening in my head right now as is, I would have had a complete nervous breakdown. I would not have known how to fucking even tell my wife or what would have happened to me or how I could function. That's how much it would have fucked me up. Well, as I'm looking around, I'm 5 minutes outside in the front yard now. I get the phone rings and it's Francesca. And I said, you found him? She said, yeah. She goes, you won't believe where it was. I'm like, all right, show me. Sure enough, he's in her fucking bedroom closet, which he never goes in there. But I told her, search your room, search under your bed, look around. And he was in there. Her door was closed. She was asleep. Thank God. Thank God. Well, it's okay. But what a fucking night it was for me. I was shot. I was so stressed out about this poor cat. And then I was thinking, oh my God, what's going to happen for the rest of my life thinking about this cat? Anyway, happy ending, but it was crazy, man. You know?
Jesus. Yeah,
Brandon,
good ending.
Remind me never to say nipples on the show again.
Jesus. Oh, nipples. Yeah. Speaking of nipples, so last night I was playing with my nipples and I got a hankering for bouillon.
That's a happy ending to a story. I had no clue about this October thing with people and black cats.
Google it. Look it up right now.
It must be a Buffalo thing.
No. Hold on a second here. Hold on.
I've heard of fear of a black hat, not a black
hat. Hold on. I just wrote in protect black cats in October to see what come up. Okay.
That was a really good one.
Wait a minute. It's a myth. Black cats getting harmed during Halloween is just pure myth. USA Today. Oh, from stories of them being abused in satanic rituals, and even abandoned or killed, people have said animal shelters should not let people adopt black cats during the month of October. But the reality is black cats don't usually face increased danger because of Halloween. It's just an urban legend. Well, there you go. So I fell for the urban legend about protecting your black cats.
What about, did you ever fall for the elevator game? Did you see that movie, Brandon? Elevator? Is that what it was called?
I did see it, yeah.
No,
is it not worth? No.
It's in my bottom 5.
Told you. I saw that poster immediately and knew it was a turd. I don't know why anybody looks at that poster and says this has any chance of being good. Just like that. Oh, I'm not even going to talk about the Natty Knox thing. This thing. It boggles my mind.
I didn't watch Natty Knox. No.
How could you? You saw that? You saw who was in it? You saw what the cover looked like?
Yeah.
How is that going to be a good movie?
Natty Knockers. I'm telling you, that's how they needed to make it. Natty Knockers, I would have checked it out for sure.
Natty
Knockers. I missed that word. That was a big word in the 80s, right?
Yeah.
Knockers. Nice. Do people still say that? Knockers?
Yeah, Natty Knockers. Tommy Knockers. Tommy had some good Natty Knockers.
It doesn't get used as much anymore, Dave. You're right.
No, just like that word pork. Nobody says pork for sex. You know?
Pork.
Nobody. It's a great word though, man.
It was always that was an 80s term for sure. I porked her.
It's
Parked.
great, isn't it? Porked
Parked. I don't know what's going
or
on. with
poke.
that thing.
Sometimes they said poke, you know, pig in a poke. No.
Big
Anyway,
Here
all
we
right.
go.
Let's
Oh
talk
wait,
about
you
horror.
don't. You got to hear
We
about.
got
No. We got one more. You got one more thing to get to.
we got
Dave has
things.
been.
Yeah.
Dave has been listing his top 50 crushes in his
Oh,
life, and
my
he's down to
life.
the last 10.
Yeah, top 10.
Every week he
Well,
does 10, or every week he does 1.
yeah,
10.
one. Imagine that. Every week I do 10. Well, somebody asked for it because we were talking about it, and I don't know even know how it came up in conversation. We were talking about if you could make a list of your crushes. I'm like, man, I have so many crushes. I can make a list of 50. I think, you know what I mean. And what's it going to be? And then I go, I don't know if I can order them properly. But there are a lot, and I'm going to start writing them down. And then someone said, I'd love to see that list. I'm like, well, I'm not going to have a show where I just talk about that for
Yeah.
fucking an hour and a half. So I said, I'll just do 10 a show real quick. So,
Hidden gems.
and they weren't really in order necessarily. Like they kind of are now that we're in the top 10. They are, but it's like, 'cause those are the first ones I thought of, so they were the first ones I wrote. But there are some other ones that are further down that nowadays would definitely be in the top 10. I just
Yeah.
so.
Well, I
So,
think I know
yeah.
who your number one is.
Really? Well, let's see if you know. I gotta find that list. What's this thing? Oh yeah, I got. Oh, now forget it. When is this gonna come out? Before Friday the 13th or no?
I hope so. I plan on editing it while I'm away, so
Okay.
hopefully it will be out before then. Yes.
Well, here's an order of business. Okay, I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to be on the Mom and Pop Video Shop. It's going to be on Friday the 13th on YouTube. It's going to be a live stream with me and Greg Mortis, and we're guest starring on Mom and Pop Video Shop, which is hosted by Joel Gilman and Joel, also from Jay the Dead Show, and what is his partner's name on the show? Tony? Yeah, Tony Hanks. So it'll be us doing a thing, but here's what we're doing. He reached out to us and said, hey, how would you guys feel about talking about your ranking the final girls in the Friday the 13th franchise? And we'll have it on this, and it'll be a live feed. I said, okay. So sure enough, they sent me this doc to send out, a Google doc, and there ends up being 26 things on it. So it isn't just the final girls. It's basically anybody that survived a Friday the 13th movie and freaking put them all in order from freaking, the bottom to the top. And then we all put our
Survived
things in.
or just or in. Oh, it's just the
No,
final
there's more
girls.
than-
It's not. I thought it was the crushes.
Huh?
I got confused. I thought they wanted you to go like the hottest women on the show, not final girls. I misunderstood.
No, we did do a thing on the Skeleton Crew though. It was the top 10 of the big 3.
That's why I think I got confused.
Yeah. No, this is just Friday the 13th survivors. Although some of them are wrong because I don't think that Clay and Whitney survived at the end of the remake. So, that's why they're at the end of my list. You know what I mean? Well, except for, because even dogs counted. Anybody that survived, anybody, even, people that went to the bar in freaking part 2, like Ted. You know what I mean? That way, anybody that survived, they said rank them in order. We're all going to put them together, and then we're going to have like a master list, and then people could talk about why they put their stuff. So, I think that's going to be an interesting list, and so I wanted to promote it. So, that's that.
We'll be the
I wonder what
judge
you
of
guys
that.
would do. Yeah, well, check it out, man. It should be fun. So let's see. Can I talk about these people? Where are we? Okay. Top 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That looks like. How did that just happen?
Well, that sounds right.
No. I just want to make sure I didn't say these people already. I don't think I did. Okay. Number 10, Alexa Bliss. You may have heard me talk about her. She's a wrestler now. Amazing. So there you go. Alexa Bliss. Check her out. Check out the stuff she does. Check out her performances, the faces she makes. She's very sexy on top of it. So, well, she makes these great faces, but she makes a great bitch face. She's a real good actress in that respect, where she has that, only when she's a bad girl. But now she's not bad anymore, I don't think. Either way. Number 9, the gothess herself, Mia Goth. There you go. What else am I going to say? You've heard me talk about her a million times.
It's true.
Number 8. Yeah. So I'll keep it short. Number 8, this is probably going to be a surprise. Jamie Presley. Mamma mia. I tell you.
I remember. Yeah, I know who she is. Yeah.
Oh my God. Just ridiculous.
Why is that a surprise?
What's that?
Why would that be a surprise?
I don't know. I just didn't know if people would think that I would be into as many hot blonde white girls as that. I don't know, because you don't hear a lot about her either. You know? I don't know. 10987, Kari Wurr. My girl Kari, who we've talked about here on,
From Hellraiser.
a few times. Yeah, from lots of stuff, man. I adore her.
Hellraiser Deader is her big credit.
Yep. Lots of stuff, but yeah, for horror Hellraiser, and don't forget she was in Thinner, and another horror too. I just forgot. Okay, number 6, Rihanna. Okay, I love Rihanna. Riri, just oh my God.
Riri, that's what she goes by
Riri.
too.
That's what I call her. I don't know. I think people call her that. Anyway, number 5, Zoe Saldana. You know who she is? You got to know who she is, right?
No.
I know.
Really? Yeah, she's an actress. See, jeez, what? You know who she was recently? She's in, what do you call it? The Avatar movies, because she plays the. But again, it's different when you're, in Avatar. You don't
I
really
think I
see
know.
them.
Wait, is she also in Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah.
She
And
is
Jumanji?
and in the Star Trek remake. Yep.
Yeah, I think I know who she is. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah, just gorgeous. Okay, number 4, Nicki Minaj. That might come as a surprise. I love her. I love her personality. The more I learn about her, the more I love her. I like the way she acts, dresses, everything. But her personality really shines in ways that I didn't know when she was on that one show. Because I only watch clips of her on YouTube. A lot of these people, I just watch clips. But have you seen her? She does like one of those shows now. What's the one with Mariah Carey? It's like an America's Got Talent or one of those shows. I don't know what it is, but Nikki's on one of those shows.
I don't know.
The Voice.
They all
One of those shows.
Yeah.
Well, seeing clips of her on that show as just a regular person chilling, and she's such a sweetheart, and she's so cool. Like, people think about her and they think that she has like this certain image, but she's pretty she's got a lot going on mentally. I think she's great and ridiculously hot. Okay, number 3. See, the big 3 are the big 3. They've been the big 3 forever. So number 3. Yeah, Muffin. Number 3 is Mila Kunis.
Nice.
Amazing. Number 2 is Angelina Jolie.
Perfect.
Amazing. Yeah. And number 1. Who's my number 1? Do you know? He's holding up a paper, but we can't see it. It is Pamela. Yes, of course. Yes. Pamela Anderson, all time. Has been number
I thought
one
you meant
since-
Pamela Voorhees.
Yeah. I remember where I was the first time
Just
I
like
saw
to make
Pamela
love.
Anderson.
Sorry.
Ever since the first time I saw her, hooked, and it's never changed all these years, and she still looks great now. And yeah, I think she's the hottest woman to ever freaking be. I think is Pamela Anderson. I remember the first time I saw her was on, obviously it was on Baywatch for me. I was at my friend's house and I just saw the opening credits to Baywatch and it was her on there. And it said Pamela Denise Anderson. And this was early, before all the enhancements and everything. And even then I thought she was freaking phenomenal. Well, because people think about
He
her.
was already so tired from jacking off to David Hasselhoff that he had worked up enough steam to get back into action for Pamela.
It definitely was
Nice.
before all the work. Is before she had Denise removed from her name.
Yep. So there's my 10. There you go. It's all done. Maybe I'll put up pictures or something someday. I'll do a thread in the patrons page.
All right, see, top 50 Canadian crushes. Go.
Oh my God. I was asked as we were doing this. I mean,
Pamela.
I can come up with people, but at the end of the day, I'd have to think, I'd have to sit down and think about it. And then I said to Dave, I go, that makes me feel kind of creepy.
Yeah, but
Wendy.
they wanted to know. They wanted to know. How creepy is it that you think somebody's hot? It is what it is.
Who's Wendy?
From Wendy's.
Wendy Torrance? Wendy, I'm home. Well, you could probably name your top crushes off the top of your head without even having to do any studying. I mean, that's how I was for most of mine. I just wrote them down. You guys couldn't do that easily? You couldn't say, well, these are the ones?
Not easy. I'm sure I could come up with a few names, but I always feel like it's never easy.
Yeah. It was tough to rank, but I mean, I had them all. I was like, yeah, her. I just started thinking about all, because I obsess about them because I don't know. I love them. What can I tell you? So anyway, that's that. We don't have to talk about crushes again. That was fun, though. It was fun for me to rank them. I love doing lists.
Go ahead, Brandon.
What?
Go ahead.
What's your biggest crush ever? Can you think of it at the top?
Orange.
Perfect answer. It's a perfect
Jennifer Connelly.
Answer.
Jennifer Connelly.
Wow. Nice.
It has to be. Labyrinth was like my movie as a kid. So when I saw her in Labyrinth, it was just like.
Yeah, that's a good. Was she on your list, Dave?
No,
she's
it
flawed.
And it was specifically that movie because I grew up watching that movie. So I mean, I was probably 8,
it was either her or the
10
Muppets.
years old.
Like, yeah.
Huggle was pretty hot.
Who's your
I've never
favorite
seen
Muppet?
that.
You never saw Labyrinth?
No, I never saw Labyrinth or Legend for that matter.
I don't think I've ever seen Legend. And if I did,
I always confuse them.
Labyrinth, I love David Bowie.
Well, Legend is it's Tom Cruise and it was directed by Ridley Scott and it's totally different movie. I'd figured that you get more like Labyrinth and like the Dark Crystal confused.
No, the Dark Crystal was there was Muppets in there and shit.
Same with Labyrinth.
Oh, really?
Well, I think
Muppets?
Jennifer Connelly's one of the only Jennifer Connelly and the Wicked Witch, aren't they the two? Oh, and David Bowie. I'm getting it all fucking confused. Yeah.
Hey, here's a question. Did Dorothy ever try to turn over the hourglass in Wizard of Oz when they gave her the hourglass because the time was running out for something? Remember that?
Yeah, I do remember it, but I don't believe she did.
Okay. Because in Flash Gordon, Dale does that. Like they have the thing, except they say it backward. They go, you have until the sands run up, and it goes backwards. But at one point she tries to turn it over because it's a smart thing to do. And she goes, it won't turn over. It won't turn over. So anyway, my father he got him confused. He does that a lot, but he was thinking that happened in both movies. That Dorothy tried to turn the hourglass over, and so did Dale in Flash Gordon. But apparently not. I don't know.
I am going by memory. Wizard of Oz comes up in the show a lot, but I actually haven't watched it in a long time.
Yeah, me either.
No, I hear you. I've had the 4K for so long, and apparently it's one of the highest rated 4Ks with transfer and everything. I just never get to it. So many movies I have here, I never get to. I'm sure everybody has that problem, but
Yep. Oh, shit. It's true.
It's a good problem.
What's this guy doing?
I dropped some
I don't
papers. I'm back.
And that was it. Have you watched either of you watched any Halloween movie yet this year? Like October, I mean?
Yeah.
No.
What do you mean? As in, not from the series, just Halloween movie.
Any Halloween related, like specifically Halloween related, like an October flick,
Well,
you know?
Cobweb was one.
Well, going into it, you knew that it was appropriate for Halloween?
Yeah, I did. So, because it came out, I think some people saw it back in August. I don't know how they did, or if it came to the theater or whatever, but it only came out recently, so I saw that, and that was a perfect example of a modern Halloween one. I'm trying to see what else. I had a list of things that I wanted to watch, but
well, that's
again,
not the
getting
same.
to them, that's the problem, just getting to them.
Well, everybody does their 31 and 31. Everybody's talking about it and everything else, and so I didn't know if you guys had an official
I did Hellfest, Haunt, and those Saw movies
Slashers.
and Cobweb.
Oh, man, you've been
Well,
you've been
why
really,
not?
yeah.
Yeah. What about
Why
you, B?
not
Nothing?
double down?
There's no rhyme or reason for my watches at any time. I watched like Dead Silence. I wanted to rewatch that. I hadn't seen it in a while. Not a very good movie.
Oh, you didn't like it, huh?
I enjoy it, but it had so much potential. It's just not a great film, though.
Yeah,
Okay.
something about the pace is off in that movie for me.
Yeah, it could have been a really good film. I like the concept of it, but it just doesn't hit. What else did I watch? I recently watched an anthology of shorts. It's literally called Horror Anthology Volume 1.
Really?
Yeah. If
Is
you
it
look
new
it
or no?
if you look it up, it's on IMDb, it's listed as Witchcraft Motion Pictures Presents Horror Anthology Volume 1.
Tubi original.
Huh.
You know
It
what?
is on Tubi. The only reason why I watched it is because when I saw this past weekend, they played a preview for Night Swim. You guys see the preview for this new movie coming?
I've heard of it. No, I don't know much about it at all.
It's called Night Swim. It's basically a girl who's tormented while swimming in her pool at night. And I looked it up. The premise sounds interesting, and it's based on a short. And the short happens to be on this horror anthology that happens to be on Tubi. It's not a Tubi original, but that's what it's called. That horror anthology volume 1. It's an hour long. It's got like 6 or 7 shorts, and it was fantastic. It was really good.
You know what?
Really?
I gotta check that out because I heard that I think that was supposed to have slacks as well as part of it, but it wasn't a contender because they were only accepting shorts. I'm sorry.
What?
Wow, that was so bad. I have to. I really. Yeah,
and I was thinking slacks would have been better as a short.
Yeah. It was so
I like
bad.
slacks.
I liked it too. I have to apologize to everybody.
Well, wait a minute. I found this movie called Symphony, a Clubhouse horror anthology. It's 93 minutes. It says 9 versions of horror conceived and created entirely on the popular social media platform Clubhouse. So that's not the same one.
No. Type in Witchcraft Motion Pictures Horror Anthology.
Oh, wait a minute. Volume 1.
Yeah, it's got a picture of
Right.
like a doll on it.
This just says Horror Anthology Volume 1. A doll. No, that's like a fucking... It looks like something from, what do you call it here? The Evil Spawn.
No,
that's what I
not
see.
it. Let me find it for you guys.
That's so weird. Oh, yeah, that says 5 New Tales of Terror from 2013. So that's not it. That's okay. Ain't no thing. Here's another one. And there's a doll on the cover? Is that it?
That's it.
That's the one. Okay.
That's it.
Okay. Yeah, 63 minutes. Baby Girl. Oh, it tells you what they are. Okay. One person has seen this movie and reviewed it on
It was Brandon.
I got to be honest with you. I saw this thing on there. It came out last year. I saw it on Tubi because I use Tubi a lot, and I've seen it on there. And I'm like, I would never watch that. I'm like, this hadn't. But once I saw Night Swim, and I was looking up more about the film because the trailer looked pretty good. I saw it was based on a short, and I was like, where can you watch this? And it's on there. All the shorts on there. There's probably like 7 or 8 of them are like 2 to 5 minutes long. There's one on there that's 20 minutes long, which I think you guys might like, but for the most part, the short, they have some good actors in it that you'll recognize.
Huh.
Yeah, like
I gotta see it.
It's pretty good.
I'll check it out. Oh, there's another one. Unseen Evil, a horror anthology from 2023. But it's only 29 minutes long. What the? I don't know.
Well, welcome to Tubi. You don't have to have. Oh, there's Horror Anthology 1 with the big ball, with the big doll.
I would check it out. I was impressed. I thought I would like to see some of these other shorts developed into feature length.
Well, did you ever watch the short for Smile? What became Smile?
No, I didn't even know it was a short.
Yeah, it was. That's
what was it? What was it? Just a grin?
A smirk.
A smirk.
A shit-eating one.
A shit-eating.
Yeah. No, it took place in one, I think just the doctor's office, and it was the same premise. Well done, to the point, but like he really expanded upon it and did a great job with its feature because you just didn't really expect it from that short. Like, I mean, it
Yeah.
was good. And sometimes I find that like the shorts are good, but you're like, wow,
Yeah, some of these shorts are really creepy. Like they always have
Dude.
cheesy like makeup or special effects for like usually the reveal of like any sort of evil entity in these shorts, but you see the potential. It's like, all right, they had a budget and developed this into a feature length. It's like Lights Out. I love the Lights Out short.
Yeah, that was good.
Is Tubi like your go-to now? It's funny, if you get in the weeds with Tubi, it is like it's got everything. It's pretty
Dude,
much
I watch some like random stuff that I've never even heard of. I'll find movies, just random movies. I'm like, this sounds interesting. I add it to the list. I love Tubi, and this is going to be the weirdest thing anyone's ever said. I like the commercials.
well, they're
I
1
would
minute breaks, right?
I
Yeah,
would rather watch an hour and a half movie on Tubi with the 4 or 5 1 or 2 minute breaks than the same movie on Amazon with no breaks.
Wait, why? Because you like the break, or because you like the commercials?
No, not I don't like the commercial. I'm not like
Okay.
watching because you know what? Some of these commercials are in Spanish now.
I know, I saw a few.
I love that.
Yes.
I'm like, what's going on here? But no, I like the break.
I can understand that. Run off to the kitchen for a second, or this or that, or
it's
pop in a
yeah.
mud flap. It's perfect timing.
Get a fresh glass of bouillon.
Well, they're short. They're short commercials. That's what I like about Tubi. It's a quick thing. Try watching something on Plex. No, do not watch a movie on Plex. I implore you, anyone listening, never try to watch a free movie on Plex, because a 90-minute movie is going to take you 2 hours and 15 minutes. It is the worst for commercials, and there's so many of them, and they're so long. Tubi does it right.
Tubi does it every 15 to 20 minutes. I think it's every 15 minutes.
And you know
It's
what?
not bad.
Most
Sometimes
of the
less.
stuff that is out on the Plexes of the world, Roku, whatever it may be, they're
Roku.
on Tubi. They're also on Tubi.
Yeah.
And Tubi will have some of the Shutter releases as well. So, like, again, like Shutter's really kind of gone down.
Tubi's been getting a lot of Screenbox films.
Well, again, we couldn't get Screenbox in Canada, so I don't know if that's changed, but
there's one that's another newer one I watched recently called Family Dinner. It's a German film. It was on Screenbox, but I missed it when I signed up for Screenbox, so I watched it on Tubi. It's pretty good.
Oh, man.
That's 2023?
Yeah.
Nice. Family Dinner.
Family dinner, huh? I gotta start writing this down.
Heavy set girl that goes to her aunt's farm because she wants her aunt's like a famous like cookbook author and stuff. She wants her to help her lose weight, and some strange things happening.
Nice. Good old
7 out of 10. Great build up, great first 2/3. Last act kind of lost me a little.
Yeah.
That's been the theme for this year. That's been the theme for this year with me.
That's the theme? They're losing you in the third act. Huh?
They're losing me in the last act. Everything's sort of holding back from being next level.
Yeah. No, it's a weird year. I'm trying to see how many movies I even have that are like 8 or above. And I do have them. I probably have 10 movies. So I probably could do a top 10 at this point, with a couple more coming out still. Of course.
I'm more than happy to have 7.5s on my list this year, even some 7s.
Just not used to it.
I could do a top 10. I could do a top 10, no question. I just have to take one out, and even with that one out, I still feel like I've got enough backups that I'd be fine with for a top 10. It's not a stellar top 10, but it's a top 10. But I'd have to take, like, right now, Missing's in there, and that's not a horror film. But I really enjoyed that movie.
Me too.
Yeah, there were a couple. You know what? I liked Missing. That might have been like another 7 out of 10 for me. But I have 3 films specifically that I pulled out of the list because they just weren't horror enough for me.
Like, you can't call Missing a horror movie. It's a thriller.
Yeah.
Like, it was just, I guess, because even though Searching wasn't much of a horror film either, it just seems to be, because of the found footage aspect of it, I think it just, people horror fans were talking about it at the beginning and whatnot.
Yeah, it's good to mention because you know which films that aren't classified as horror appeal to horror fans. So.
Well, shit. Nowadays, forget about it. You know, that's the thing about this year. And I have 11 movies that are 8 or higher. So I'm okay.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I'm feeling good.
I want to say I have 6 or 7.
I'm feeling good. So
but I know I have
okay.
I know I have some 7.75s, some 7.5s. I know even if I did a top 20 right now, it'd probably start at 7 and go up to like I might have 1 or 2 movies that might be slightly higher than an 8 if I rewatch them. Like if I rewatch my 2 favorites.
There you go. Well, actually, the ones I had the highest kind of came down a little bit on the second watch, but it's okay. Nothing substantial.
Yeah.
But I don't know if we're just going to do 10 movies or not, or we're going to do more like usual. This doesn't seem the year to do it. There's just not enough quality out there.
It would be very different. Like when I was looking, you're already getting into the weeds past like 15. I would think like for sure, like of movies that are just there because that's where I put them. And it's not even a proper rank really, but when I was looking at that, we would be, Tin and Tina. Well, I mean, I still
haven't seen that one.
Well, that would be rounding up Winnie the Pooh.
You consider that one horror? That Tin and Tina one, or no?
Yeah, that's
it's a horror. It's a horror film.
Why did I change my mind?
But it was only. It's not maybe because it's not fantastic.
I think I gave that a 7 out of 10 also.
Yeah. That's exactly
a lot of it was again the third act. Like I enjoyed it, but like I wanted a little bit more in the third.
But I think some people didn't really like it, but it wasn't. I liked my time with it. Those kids were creepy.
They were creepy.
Yeah, these are the ratings I see. Well, Christian doesn't have one. He's like me, which is cool. I see a 2, a 3.5, a 2.5, a 2, a 2.5, and 1 4. So nothing about that stuck out as, okay, you better see this one. You know what I mean? It's just not. And it's a 2.3 overall on freaking Letterboxd. That's
I think it's better than that. I think
right?
I would agree with Brandon. It's better than that. I'd say that it gets bad shit crazy at the end. So some of the things that happen at the end, it's like, whoa, jeez.
Yeah, I'll check it then. I'll add it back and I will watch it then. That's fine. I'll put that back on the list. Maybe I'll end up with 52, like I always say I'm going to do. It's going to be tough to do. I'm at 34 now. I got to stretch it to 52. It's freaking October already.
See, I'm at 67, and I think I could easily do 33 more. I have probably 20 right now in list between all the streaming services that I kind of still want to check out, and another 13 that might come out between now and December.
Did you watch The Blackening?
Not yet. It's on my list.
I liked it. I liked it. It's nothing. It's not a wholehearted recommend, but I liked it because I got a few giggles out of the comedy aspect of it, and I thought they did a good job. It's a slasher. It's set up as a slasher. It doesn't quite play out as every slasher, but that's what kind of makes it unique, right? Like if it's not by the numbers by any means, but it's worth checking out.
So when I think of that movie, The Blackening, I think of a movie like Scary Movie. So you're saying it's not like that?
No, I thought it was going to be like Scary Movie 2, and it's not. It's set up. There's comedy elements to it, but it's not a slapstick or it's comedy's part of it, but it's definitely not at the forefront.
Well, then I'll have to watch that one too. So The Blackening will go back on my list. Tin and Tina will go back on my list, and I'll have to figure this out. But that's what I'll do. So
now The Blackening is probably right now a 6.5. In that range there. So take that for what it is as well.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I just want to have a few more added to my watch list here. That's all, because I got to see what
I don't have my list in front of me. I have them written down.
Infinity
downstairs.
Pool, I'd have to watch again, but what I like
that requires two.
Like that's why I was probably rating it a little higher, but it just went so kind of cuckoo in that last act that I kind of I lost interest a little bit. So I have to kind of rewatch it. And I also thought Mia Goth, when she went, I think I mentioned this to you, Dave, that she went kind of balls out crazy at the end,
Yeah.
You were
she
annoyed by it?
lost me. I got annoyed by it. Yeah.
I heard a lot of people saying it. The only reason why she didn't lose me is because I thought Skarsgård's character was such a fucking bitch in that movie that
Right.
honestly I wanted her to torment him because I hated him so
Right.
much. And I give that movie a 7 out of 10. It just missed the mark overall. It didn't really have much depth to the story when you think about it.
And I'm 6.5, but I enjoyed aspects of it. Like I like what young Cronenberg, like he's like a young Jedi. He's learning, and he's getting. There's some interesting aspects to all the films.
Yeah.
I still think Possessor might be my favorite of his films so far, but that was only a 7 for me.
Oh, really? See, I was higher on both of these. And if I look at his library, just the 3 though, this seems to be the most easily digestible. Yes, it's wacky and everything else, but I don't have any really, serious like burning questions about what's happening in the plot, where I kind of did in Possessor and I kind of did in Antiviral. This seems more straightforward to me.
It's
and
very
that's what
straightforward.
I like.
I found it very straightforward. I didn't feel like I had any questions at the end. I just felt like
Right.
the depth of story wasn't as deep as I would have liked. It's very on the surface, and for a movie that extended as long as it did, I was like, all right.
Well, I'll be checking it again. I've only seen it once. I bought the freaking Blu-ray right away because I own everything with Mia in it. So it's like I will watch it again, but I have a feeling I'm gonna love it. Just I don't know. I just think it's gonna move. I just have a feeling it's gonna go up, and I love her performance towards the end. But that's what she does. She was freaking just in this case. She was tormenting this guy, and
he deserved it. What a little bitch.
you're a baby, James. I loved him, man. You're a oh God. I love her so much. She's gonna be in what do you call it now? The Del Toro Frankenstein movie that he wants to make. She's gonna be in that too. Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, she's getting all over the place. So I'm really excited about that. And I just watched X again last week for Year of the Slasher. What?
I watched that a few weeks ago too. Great movie. But I was just watching. I was looking at Candyland because that one came out with a bunch of people just blowing it earlier this year.
It was
and
good.
Again, 6.5 out of 10.
Wow, that's all.
JP's got it at like a 5 out of 5. I'm like,
yeah,
what?
He loved it. I know.
I think I gave that one a 7.5. So that's one
Me
that
too.
Could make the back end of the list. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah,
but again,
good.
I'm not giving out high scores anymore. I feel like when we were podcasting consistently, or at least when I feel like I was giving out too many high scores. I feel like if you asked me 5 years ago, Cabin Fever, I would have been like, oh, that's an 8.5 out of 10. Rewatched a few months ago. It's a 6 out of 10.
Wow, that difference.
It's a 6 out of 10. It's a 6 out of 10.
I
enjoyed it, but it's.
I feel like Candyland is a slightly a poser movie where it wants to be an exploitation film and it's trying to emulate exploitation film. But that's how I view it. It's something trying to be something else, but not actually succeeding in being it itself.
What'd you say, K.D. Lang?
Yep, K.D. Lang. I was always wondered why she was, K.D. Lang.
Oh, okay. I thought you said K.D. Lang. K.D. Lang. What happened to K.D. Lang? That's funny.
Yeah. I guess she found the right woman, and the rest is history.
She quit the Patreon.
We can hope.
She's with Samantha Fox.
Oh, there you go. Who wouldn't like that? Right. Man. What the hell was I gonna say? What were you just saying, C, before you talked about Candyland?
No, I brought Candyland up, and you guys were talking about something else, but I got hung up on Candyland again. I apologize.
The ratings. I think no, you didn't do anything. It's my damn mind trying to recall. So back to B, going from an 8.5 to a 6. That's substantial.
I don't know if I was 8.5, but I feel like I gave 8s out too easily. I feel like 8.
Well, 8 is great.
Yeah, 8 is exactly, and I feel like this year I've seen like a handful, maybe a half dozen of the films where I thought, after one watch, wow, this is an 8 out of 10. It's a very good film. And I
Yeah,
feel like
that's
I feel
fine.
like 6 out of 10 for me
It's too
now.
low for me.
I can still see that's my. I think that to me is like your 7 is my 6.
Okay. See, a 6 to me is like a movie that I don't regret that I watched, but it's just a movie that was okay, and I watched it once, and I'm not going to watch it again. Where a six and a
Yeah.
half is a movie that I liked and most likely will watch again. Now, a 7, that becomes a recommend. That's my easy thing right there.
Yeah, see, I
You
do
know?
it with a 6 being a recommend. Not necessarily that it's a great film, but it had
No.
aspects of it that make it stand out for me, enough for me to recommend it. Below a 6, 5 to 5 3/4. Don't regret my time, but have no desire to ever see it again or recommend it. And below that, just major issues with that, with a film
Yeah.
below a 5.
How
But
bad it
that
is.
but
Right.
that 6 to 6.75, it's like there's elements here of a really good film. There's something enjoyable about it. It's just something I could recommend. Might not necessarily buy it, want to own it, but I can recommend it. I could watch it again.
Oh, for sure. Okay,
I,
that
I
makes
felt
sense.
I felt the Boogeyman this year was a 6 out of 10. I just watched that one recently. It was on Hulu.
You know what's weird?
Yeah,
I
that
just
came
looked
out
at all my
on
I
Disney
looked at all
Plus.
my movies, and I had Boogeyman, and it's at 7.5, and I don't remember watching a movie called Boogeyman. And
Yeah,
I'm
you saw it
really
back in the summer. It came out in the theaters. You saw it like opening night. I remember you seeing it.
You gave it a seven
The
and a half. Wow.
Boogeyman, the Stephen
the
King
Stephen
movie.
King.
Yeah,
I saw that.
yeah.
I gave it. It's a solid 6 out of 10 for me. There's a
And
lot I
Dave.
like about the lead girl in it. She's terrific. She's from Yellow Jackets. She's really good in it. I like the performances. I like some of the scares and stuff. But once you start to reveal the look of the Boogeyman stuff, it feels too much like an alien film. So it becomes a little less scary.
Yeah,
I
I
want
don't even remember.
my Boogeyman to actually be a Boogeyman.
Yeah, I remember you saying you were fine with it. It wasn't 8 is great, but I remember you saying you
Right.
liked it.
And I don't remember anything about it. That's so
Interesting.
weird. That
Wow.
happens sometimes. So maybe it's not that high. Maybe I should go down a little bit on it if I don't remember much about it. It's just like
You're down on a
at
long
the
time.
time. I'm so confused. So, okay, there's one more thing I want to talk. Do you guys, 1989 in horror? The reason I'm bringing this up is because I'm going to do, and I did 86 and I did 87 with Land of the Creeps. They've been doing this thing on their show where they had their top 5, right? Top 5 from 86, kind of like what we've done with top 10 with 22 shots, except they do a 5. So now I did 86. That was great. 87 was great. Now 88, I wasn't on it, but it's still a pretty solid year. I'm going to do 1989. And I'm telling you, it's going to be the hardest thing to do to find 5 movies from 1989 that I actually really like. I don't think I have a movie. I think an 8 would be the highest rating for anything I've seen in 1989.
Really?
Yeah,
Phantom of
so
the
I kind of
Opera. Dwight H. Little, your favorite director.
maybe I should watch it for
That
the
might not
first
be.
time.
It might be an 8. It might be a 7 for you. I actually really like that rendition of Phantom of the Opera. I mentioned
Wow.
it when we were talking about how I'm not like the biggest fan of Robert Englund when he's not Freddy, and even as Freddy, he hams it up, and he kind of does the same thing here. It's very Freddy-esque, his performance, but I still really like it. I like the look of it. You'll have you may have a little bit of an issue with the slight changes they do with the story without giving anything away for the ending and whatnot. But if you haven't seen it, definitely check that one out. And obviously, Shocker's not going to make your list.
No, but dude, what a weak year! I'm telling you. Look at these movies.
God,
What do you
terrible,
have?
terrible year.
See?
The Church, Intruder, Pet Cemetery.
Leviathan, I'm Madman, Warlock.
I do like Sleepaway Camp 3, but
So do I. But I'm
Society.
saying
Society, yeah.
Ooh.
But think about it. Would you have thought that they'd be in your top 5 for a year? I like Society, and I really like Sleepaway 3, but not like
Yeah.
I would think it'd be in a top 5.
Clown
That's what I'm
House.
saying. Amityville: The Evil Escapes, Halloween 5, Stepfather 2, Cutting Class, Edge of
Make room
Sanity,
for Daddy.
Make Room for Daddy. What the hell is that?
That was the tagline for Stepfather 2.
Oh, you got me excited. I thought you had some gem. Deep
Clown-
Star 6.
Clown House. Chud
Oh, the
Witchcraft.
Fly 2 for gore anyway.
For gore. But again, these are like movies that are like a 7 maybe. This is what I'm saying. So I'm going to do this and try to come up, and it's like, what do you do? I was hoping you guys, look, I guess I'll watch the movie you said. It's the Phantom of the Opera.
After
There's
midnight.
Intruder, I, Madman, The Horror Show.
Not
After
good year.
midnight.
I think
No.
it's anthology.
Did I say After Midnight? If that's what Brandon said, that is an anthology, which I remember liking. It had a couple of standout.
Yeah, it's not bad. Again, not a great year though.
Man, I'm telling you, I've never
Parents.
had.
Check Parents out. That one's.
I've seen Parents. I've seen it before.
Parents is good. I don't think I'd rate anything there above an 8. Probably Pet Cemetery around an 8.
Tetsu, the Iron Man.
No desire to ever watch those.
I've never seen it. And I don't think I want to. Yeah. It's just what a weak year. I mean, if you look at all those years in the 80s, I think there's one like phantom year that actually ended up being weaker than it should have been, like 83 or 84. One of those years there's an off year, because I've talked about this before with Dave Parker, like when we were doing the, what do you call it? The
Can't be 83 with both.
Then it's not
the Dead Zone and Videodrome, but that's
okay.
just off
I
the
understand.
Top of my head. Yeah,
it's top heavy,
Shit,
but then
sorry.
after that, I remember it being weak. And I could be wrong. That might be 84. That's the weak year. There's like, 3 or 4 movies and the rest of it, there's no.
There's a Fulci film, House of Clocks. I don't know if I ever saw that.
House of Big Cocks.
Yeah.
Well, because 83 is okay. Twilight Zone, Cujo, Sleepaway, Christine, Curtain, Psycho 2, Videodrome. Awesome. Okay. Dead Zone.
Can't be that with The Hunger, The Keep, like whether you like them or not. Jaws 3D. I mean, there's a Nightmares. There's fans of that out there. We did that on this show, I believe.
Oh, The Burbs is 80. The Burbs is 89.
Yeah, I don't really consider that horror, but I know people do.
And Santa Sangre is 89.
Oh,
Fuck that
Dave's
fucking
favorite.
Movie.
He hates it. He hates it.
Oh, okay.
Such a disappointment.
It was one of the shows in the no Brandon years, and Dave did not like it at all.
You know what? I own the Blu-ray. I've seen it once, so I really owe it a rewatch. But it's odd.
It's has you written all over it. I think you and I would have been defending it and liking it. I really enjoy it. It's not a 10 out of 10 for me, but I really enjoy it. And Dave just did not, just not for him.
I can't give 10 out of 10s anymore.
It's not. I only have 54. Period. So I mean, that's not bad if you think about it. All the horror movies I've seen, only 10 54s. Come on. Oh, only 54 10s. 10 54.
10 54 is when we're gonna finish this podcast.
Yeah. Let's get
Okay.
into we're breaking them in. We're bringing it back old school for a nice long show.
Let me just tell you about 84 quick and tell you that's the year, because this is all there is.
I thought it was 89.
Yeah, listen. Hold on.
He's talking about the other
84 is
Phantom
is the weak year, is the other one, that the Phantom year in the middle of it. This is what's there. Friday 4, what's this? Night of the Comet, Children of the Corn, Nightmare on Elm Street. Okay. Firestarter, Chud, Gremlins, Razorback, Company of Wolves, Invitation to Hell, Silent Madness, Frankenweenie, Hills Have Eyes 2, Toxic Avenger, Invitation, Splatter University, just, I don't know, Body Double, Rocktober Blood. It's a weak year. You got like 4 good
I don't know.
movies.
You need, there's I think there's probably 10 that you rifled off there that are
Oh, really? Okay.
Well, Toxic Avenger, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th,
Yes.
4.
Yep.
Right. Children of the Corn, not for me, but for a lot of people.
Right. Yeah, but I'm just saying it wouldn't make my top 10. That's what I'm saying. You got those 3 or 4 big ones, including Gremlins, and then everything else after that is like a 7. Or, you know what I mean? It's a weak year.
It's just so weird because 84 and 85 for just movies in general are some of the best years. Like when you got like Back to the Future, Ghostbusters, and oh man,
Summer Rental.
it's just fantastic.
Right. Okay. All right. Let's do our thing. Let's talk about it. Let's get into Saw.
Brandon,
Finally.
for old time's sake, do you want to read it?
Oh God, I'm pulling it up.
Bring it up.
Just like old times. See?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you noticed, but when he brought up his screen the last time, he went fucking whiter than Casper.
Than
It was
ever?
like this
No.
angelic glow that just like he looked like
No,
he was fucking.
that's why I'm using my phone.
Okay.
White ghost. There he is. You
White
see that white
ghost.
ghost in Ju-on? Fuck, that's Brandon.
All right, Saw X, 2023. I'm not going to do directors and all that. A sick and desperate John travels to Mexico for a risky and experimental medical procedure in hopes of a miracle cure for his cancer, only to discover the entire operation is a scam. I'll stop there.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we're going to spoil everybody. We
Yeah,
are going
we
to
have
spoil. I don't think we're going to even do it in a spoiler section. I think we're just going to talk about the movie and do it in the usual Exploding Head style where spoilers just sort of come about au natural.
I'm down.
There you go. So I've been talking about this movie already, but I haven't heard what you guys have had to say. And I'm so curious because for me, I'll just say this to lead it off. This was the Saw movie that I didn't know that I needed, but holy shit, am I so glad
Yeah.
they went this route and made a movie like this. And to me, this is the perfect coda to this freaking thing. I don't want them to make any more. This is the perfect as a 10th movie to go out. Even though it takes place in between 1 and 2, this is the perfect way. It's like a tribute to Jigsaw. Like, it's too bad there was another movie called Jigsaw already, because this one should have been called Jigsaw, because this is his movie. And the way it humanizes him, and it makes me love the guy even more, and all the callbacks and everything else, and Amanda and everything else they did, I loved it. The traps are an afterthought, really. It's all about the plot and making Jigsaw even more human, and seeing the teaching with him and Amanda, what's going on there and everything.
Oh,
I
so
loved
great.
it. I'm so glad they went this route. They could have gone another route and just done something cheap, but they didn't. So I'm very happy. Now, what about you guys?
Well, I'll just go very quick and then Brandon can get into it because I want to hear Brandon's thoughts because you
Oh,
kind of alluded to something.
I haven't seen it yet, so.
Nice.
I was playing around with using this terminology. I've used it on the show before for another franchise or film. This one looks the most like a real movie. When I'm sitting there in the theater, the look of this is cinematic, whereas the other ones felt more like they could have been like TV movies or something. When you go back and rewatch them, as much as I love the series and the franchise, there's a lot of like the way they come into a scene or just the interaction between actors. It feels really direct to video or telegraphed and TV-esque. And you definitely notice it when going back. This felt more cinematic. It looked like a movie. It was, although it had some of the Saw editing as a love note, it didn't rely on the Saw editing like the other ones, which kind of take you out of the story sometimes. And I agree. Like it was beautiful. Like I was like the first half hour, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, I'm like, holy smoke! Like Christian could be watching this, Carrie would be watching this, and it's almost like a really cool premise and a different type of movie altogether. And then it gets into the Sawisms on the second half and delivers there as well. So I was very happy. It's not what I expected from it. I saw the teaser trailer, but I didn't watch the other trailer that they released, which I think was just a trap one. And so I went in fairly blind.
Nice.
Yeah.
Really
me
enjoyed
too.
it.
I didn't see much about it. I mean, I saw one of the trailers, but I agree with everything you guys said. It's definitely the most well produced, best looking film the best character development by far. You do get so much of Jigsaw and so much of Amanda, and they definitely carry the film. Even though I did like some of the other performances, they are the standouts. And yeah, I agree that even though I thought the traps were really good in this one, for the most part,
Right.
they do feel like an afterthought, but that's fine. They don't need to
Mhm.
be at the forefront because this is so much just an ode to Jigsaw, to John Kramer. Because I mean, the franchise made the biggest mistake in killing him off too early. But yeah, how can you know? How can you know?
Yeah.
How
And
can you know you're going to reach this level of success with a franchise, especially now 10 movies in?
And the
Well,
age
see,
factor, the fact that he's 20 years older, which has
looks
been
great.
used as he looks great, and he because he's a cancer patient, it just seems to work. Like they've managed
Yeah.
to bridge it as best they can, considering he's almost 20 years older.
And I saw an article where they said that this movie did a good thing of not using the de-aging technology, which I'm glad they didn't,
Right.
because that does become distracting. It's
Yeah.
just something you got to just accept. I mean, Tobin Bell is, I think he's 80 or 81 now.
Yeah,
Right.
So the fact that, I mean, he looks great for 81 years old,
Right.
yeah.
but the fact that he's playing like probably somebody in his 50s.
True.
Well,
I
But
mean,
he's always looked old.
he has always looked old, but I mean,
That's why
yeah,
it works.
like when he takes his shirt off, it's like, okay, this guy has the bone density of a senior citizen, but who gives a shit? Fuck it. I'd
Right.
well,
rather them do that.
that's why he needs help. There's a lot of work to do. That's why he's there and whatever. Like
Yeah.
they explain it. They do things that are great because they hit. You know all that fan base thing. Like I'm not a murderer. I've never murdered anybody. We've like you fucking. They make the joke in the movie. You're such
Yeah.
a fucking hypocrite. It's
Yeah.
like just with a little bit of dialogue, they hit every critique that like whether it be fans or non-fans of the series have thrown at it, and I love when films do that. Just with, he was doing very well last night. Maybe some here around here gave him lessons. Why Michael Myers drives? I know, Brandon, you still can't get it, but I'm just saying, with just a little bit of dialogue like that, and this one, of course, after the fact, because we have the whole series. But I love the fact that they did that.
Yeah.
I love the setup of this. I love how he pieced it all together. I love his false sense of hope when he thought he was on the road to recovery, and then going back to thank the girl that just sort of got his heart and wanted to repair with that bottle of tequila, and then realizes that it's all been a
Yeah,
ruse.
I bought it completely. A lot of people
Man.
were
Yeah.
upset with the fact that somebody as smart as him and as diabolical as him could fall for something so maybe easy to spot, or what should be easy to spot for somebody of his intelligence level. But it's like you said, he just found out he's got months left to live. This moment of weakness, this false
Yeah.
hope.
Well,
Anybody would cling to it in that moment. And
plus
I
the way he was introduced to him. Why would that guy lie?
Yeah,
Why,
that's the
you
thing.
know?
It was presented in a way that's, well, it's like, oh, well, shouldn't he have done research on her? Well, she's the daughter of this well-renowned scientist. It was really, I thought it was well disguised in a way that, even though we saw what was coming ahead of time, you could get why him, being such a smart man, would fall for it and is falling for it.
Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, because again, if we didn't already stated, I can't remember if it was in the introduction, Brandon, that you read, but obviously, yeah, it was. It turns out that it's all facade. That the father, so this woman seems to have stolen her father's ideas to just rip people off and
Yeah.
charge exorbitant amount of money
Right.
Yeah.
to just swindle people out of their money, whereas her father actually believed in his research and supposedly might be the real deal, but it was still shunned down upon because it's very experimental. So she's taken this to Mexico, pretended that it's hidden and all secretive, and you buy into it as well with them. Like,
Yeah.
okay, they've got to do this to protect it because it's not it's not mainstream medicine and whatnot, but it's just a big scam. But I loved all that too, and I loved how he made friends with the boy there and
Yeah.
whatever, and learned, and like I didn't even think that was going to play back into it later. Like they just when they set something up in a movie, how it usually comes back in the final act for a reason. I just thought they were trying to show character to John on John's part, and it ends up coming back and playing out later in the film. I will say my minor quibbles were that one trap seemed very derivative of part three. And it's probably because I just watched part three right before too. But I thought, couldn't they have done something different with making that have the guy having to saw his own head open to get to his brain matter? I understand it's different, but in Saw 3, we have this elaborate scene where they're giving Jigsaw brain surgery, and we're seeing pretty much every minute of it, where they saw open his skull, take off the plate, get into the brain. It's very gory, which is why a lot of people love part three. And I just thought that this was very derivative of that. I couldn't have done something else just because within the Saw world we already had something similar to it. Even though it was a cool idea, we had something similar. And then when the trap closes on him, my only thing is a little. I know you have to check the reality button at the door a little bit. Like, when did he have time to make that gizmo in the shape of the sort of the Aztec, sculpture that shuts down?
Because they sold them. Because they sold those little idols and different ones. That's what that taxi cab driver was showing them.
Yeah.
So there was a bunch of different things there. So he could have easily just got that.
And he's a civil engineer. It'll take him 15 minutes to whip up one of those.
Well, yeah, we know there's some MacGyver stuff. You've got to let it go, or you will never enjoy the movie. I was okay with that.
Look, I know adrenaline is strong, but the fact that you could saw your own leg off and collect your own bone marrow without passing out is like, I mean, again, awesome trap though. And man, they should have given her 3 minutes, 10 seconds. She would have been fine.
Yeah, and the gore was top notch in this. Like the special effect, the makeup effects, were great. Like that when she's doing that son of it. I was in my chair doing this, and we had a great theater too. I went with my two daughters, so it was also a great experience. Friday night, it was Friday late afternoon. So when we went, there was 5 other people in the theater.
Oh, nice.
2 guys behind, 4 other people in the theater. Two guys behind us and another couple, and then us 3.
Did you turn around and say, "Can you not sit behind us? You got the whole."
Yeah, you're kind of freaking us out here. No, but it was great. But that I was on pretty much every trap had me like just on edge in my seat. So that says I did something right.
Yeah, the traps I thought were well designed. I thought if I have one quibble with it, I think because you see everything coming, because it's really not about the twists in this one, that maybe in the third act when everything starts going, even though the theme music is so OG and so awesome, it just doesn't hit as hard. It just doesn't hit with the same level. But
I didn't care in this movie.
Exactly. I don't care that much. I don't care.
And they did the love notes, the Easter eggs, like when he wakes, when he comes out of the blood, when he comes up, and he comes up the exact same way as he rises up at the end of part 1.
Yes, in part 1.
And sort of hold his head and whatever. I was like, there's the love note to part 1. And those are the beats that made it happen. And that kid, and he didn't want the kid to go through it. So obviously I guess they're expecting to put he was expecting that Amanda and him would be in that trap together, but it ended up being the kid, which threw it off a little bit. But still, it's still fun. And again, if you don't like Saw, I don't know if this may change your opinion, because it's, like I said, the most real looking movie of it. But if you still don't like the premise or what it's all like, maybe this won't win you over. But damn, I thought they did, like they nailed it pretty much on every aspect. And I've become more of a fan. Like if I listen back to my retro, I know that I was a little harsh on 2. And I typically are, but by rewatching some of these again, I love 2 now. I love but I like them all to some degree. 7 again, my least favorite. Jigsaw, my least favorite. The Book of Saw is good. I'm not high on it. This fits beautifully with those first 6, no question. I just don't know where I'd rank it. Maybe number 2, maybe number 3. I'd have to play around with it, because there's still some great love for some of the OG ones, but just on its own, this one just hits so well.
It does. I have a lot of love for the franchise, with the exception of Spiral. I think it's such a missed opportunity. I feel like that film in particular is so, horror filmmaking 101, like especially with a whodunit type mystery to, show all these great kills in a movie and then have the one off-screen kill. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
this person's dead. They were killed off screen. And then the reveal being they're the killer. It's like, come on. That was so telegraphed from a mile away.
Yeah.
You fooled
And I
me the
could see-
first time, and I just went through them all because I reviewed them all on Jay's show.
Mhm.
And somehow I came up, even though I was dreading watching Spiral, I somehow came up on the other end, enjoying it more than I had before, and actually digging it. Like, it's my least favorite now is actually Jigsaw. And I like Spiral more, obviously. Spiral to me is just like a, what do you call it? It's like a thriller movie that just would have come and gone, but like people like I think people are harsh on it because of the Chris Rock thing. And once again, because it's part of this franchise and they don't like that it's there. And I get that. But to me, it's like watching a movie like freaking, I don't know, Along Came a Spider or something else, or one of those thrillers from the 90s. And I really got into it this time, but this isn't about that. I don't know. Maybe watch it
And
again.
see, that's how I feel about Jigsaw. I enjoy Jigsaw the more I think about it now. It's like they set up this whole other avenue to explore and they never went back to it. I'm sure
It's
eventually
okay.
they will. But I enjoy it. And I like the whole idea of, we speak for the dead. I like that.
I do too. But it makes no sense that the guy, for no reason, that was doing the new test decided he didn't even really have to do a new game and do all that stuff and kill everybody in the exact same way. There was no way to do that whatsoever. It was just something to do for the movie. And somebody pointed that out to me when we were reviewing it. And I was like, oh, yeah, you're right. That is stupid. So it's something that I've learned about. I'm like, oh, yeah, you're right. So because of that, I've come down a little. And it was okay, but I had issues with it. But again, it was a copycat killer, just like Spiral, just like that one. Now, this one here, okay, Saw. This one movie here is the first thing I said when I finished it was that fans of the franchise, fanboys of it, people that are really into it are going to love it. The same thing I said when I saw Scream 5. Because of the love letter to the original Scream and the franchise and things that they do, and if you're into the characters, and if you're into John Kramer at all, I can't see not loving it. If you're and so far, all the real hardcore Scream fans, pardon me, Saw fans that I know, all love it. So it seems like that I was right about that. It works so well, but you still do see preaching in it. And it's good stuff. It's all the training. That's what I love, is the training that was going on. And first of all, the reveal. Because I didn't know who was in the movie and who wasn't. And Amanda, yes, she does look older, noticeably. What can you do? That's a certain age.
My daughter still thought she looked good. She looked good. And again, she is older. So you gotta check that at the door, because they didn't decide to use the stupid de-aging technology, and they just went with it and put the fucking wig on her and matched her as good as she possibly could. I was fine with it too. I was hoping, because again, I thought I heard his voice, but I wasn't sure if it was Jigsaw or him. I was hoping Hoffman was going to be in it, even if it was just a smidge. And that's what we got. Just a little taste to help Bridget. Like when he's talking to Inspector, I got all giddy. I'm like, he's talking to Hoffman.
Right.
And Joss is like, whatever.
Yes.
I go, that's awesome. And so like I got all giddy in my chair too. But then the scene after the credits run a little bit, they have that whole sequence that Brandon made the joke about, and you get full Hoff. You get the Hoff.
Now that's it. All of that stuff. I was just so I haven't been that excited.
But you get the Hoff. Yeah.
in a long time. I haven't been so excited.
Yeah, that's the fan service the Saw wanted.
When I saw Amanda take off the pig mask and it's revealed that it's her, because there was two of them, I'm like, okay, who is it? Boom, and it's Amanda. I was like, yes. And then later on, when he's on the phone, the first time he calls, he says, detective. And you know that's who he's talking. Yeah. I could use your assistance in locating people who need our services. And I'm like, and I was like, that's fucking Hoffman he's talking. Then later on,
and it's
you hear Hoffman on the phone.
So he knows he's got connections too. So it also helps bridge those gaps of how was he able to get all this intel, although we've known it like when you watch some of the other ones. But it's a cool little add-on too, right? Sorry, Dave, I cut you off there. And then later on.
And later on, he calls him again, and you actually hear his voice, and he goes, well, you're going to like something about this and that, but the one person we couldn't get a hold of, I forgot what it was. I forgot what he said,
Yeah.
but I'm like,
You're gonna have to do
that's
your own
Hoffman.
legwork on. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. And then I kept waiting and waiting and waiting for Hoffman to save the day. When the kid came up and started kicking the soccer ball, I was hoping it was going to be Hoffman to save the day. I would have popped like a motherfucker.
I thought it was going to be Hoffman there when you heard some knocking. I thought Hoffman.
Yes.
Then they cut to the kid. I'm like, what's going on here? Then when they were in that trap, and I was like, well, how are they going to escape this? I was expecting a bullet to ring out. Someone's head explode, and then Hoffman's got a gun. When's Hoffman coming to save the day? But I'm glad they went the way that they did. I remember there's not that many people in my theater. I almost can expect that when they open up those doors at the end and that sun beams through, that some theaters might have gotten like laughter, and some people would have laughed. I thought it was a great way to.
It felt like the end of a rom-com, like they were going off into the sunset to live happily ever after. But I liked it. Yeah, it was very theatrical.
Yeah, like it was melodramatic or whatever. Like you're like,
you know what vibes?
You know what vibes
I was getting? You know what vibes I was getting at the end when they put them in the traps, when they put Jigsaw and Amanda, they chained her, and I kept thinking of Saw 5. I was like, okay, once they pull the lever, they're going up, and this room is gonna like explode or something. So I don't know why I was just expecting that. So when they actually did the bloodboarding.
Yeah.
Yeah, once they actually did that, I'm like, wait, what the hell's going on here?
Right. I didn't know what to think.
Even though Jigsaw and Amanda were prepared to play that as a contingency no matter what, obviously Carlos being dragged into it was not foreseen, but
no.
I love it though, because they can predict the behavior. They know they're gonna go for the money and set it up. I just thought like the poison room and everything was a little, I don't know, because you see the hints when he's like, oh, she's gonna kill you first chance she gets. She's gonna burn you, and I'm like, okay, it's gonna happen. It just felt a little rushed, and some of the dialogue of the doctor, even though I thought she's a great villain, she's so evil. Some of the dialogue was a little cringe. Oh, it's Jig fucking Saw. Like, come on.
I was okay with that.
I didn't like that. I didn't like that.
But I liked how cold-hearted she was when they're like, oh my God, we need rope. And then my daughter's like, she's gonna cut open her stomach and take out her intestines. I'm like, no. And I see her pull over and I'm like, oh my God. And then she does it.
Yep.
And they're all disgusted. The other two people are disgusted. That's how cold-hearted she is. She says, well, I'm going to take this dead body, take out the intestines, and we're using it as rope to pull that table over.
She was diabolical. So I guess if anything, I really wanted to see her just killed off, like whether or not she's left in that room to die.
Well, we don't get a definitive answer.
I mean, she was such an evil character. I mean, I was so upset when she killed Gabriella, man. Gabriella was Amanda. Like, I love that connection between them two. Like, this is literally Amanda before Amanda became Jigsaw's disciple. She's literally doing horrible things just to feed her addiction.
And Amanda was trying to tell Jigsaw this, but Jigsaw's like, she still has to do her course. And then she won her trap. They're like, get her to the hospital. 2 people won their traps in this.
Yeah.
That one guy had pipe bombs on his hands. Like,
you know what? After that, and when the girl was doing the leg, because she was the next one, when she was doing it, and she almost did, I said to myself, I think the twist is going to be that they all survived their traps, and they're all like present day, like disciples of his. But that was quickly axed when her head came off. But
I was just a little surprised that they made this woman so diabolical, as you mentioned, excuse me.
Yeah.
But that she's there left with her head in there, and the gas is expelled, so like she could take it out and somehow get out of there, and she's alive.
Yeah.
Right?
Fair.
Like
she passed her test. Only one could survive, and she happened to be the one. Just goes to show you it's not personal. And somebody gets a chance to survive. And I thought it was cool that she was making fun of him and saying all that, because to me, that shows the power of the reach of Jigsaw. Like, this is like a national story. This is the story that people know about. And she's like, imagine when I found out that you were Jig fucking Saw. To me, that puts him more on a pedestal. And like, no one's ever. So she is thinking at that moment that I'm the only person that's ever been smart enough to freaking outwit you. I can't believe it. So she's feeling freaking very confident at that moment because he's supposed to be this amazing guy. And she turn the tables on him, and she's going to make him a victim. So that's why she's freaking talking shit and doing it. But the great part about that is we find out that John, once again, masterminded this too. So I'm happy that she messed with him, because then it's like, okay, now what? You talked all that shit.
Yeah.
You said this, and the game was played for the first time where Jigsaw is in the room with the people doing it. So it's more personal. The only time he's ever been in the room before, when it's actually happening, is Cecil in that one movie when he jumps in the barbed wire, and part one when he's asleep on the thing. But there's no interaction there. But in this movie, he's interacting the whole time.
Man.
It's very reminiscent of early Saw. You know, it's very raw in terms of him sort of figuring
It's
out.
raw
like,
Saw?
Raw. It's raw
Saw.
X.
Yeah, raw. But
yeah.
oh, sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, I don't even know what the hell is.
Well, there's so many things, like the teaching, the stuff that he was saying to Amanda. Like I said, I got so excited when I saw her. I was doing this, and then when the phone call, and then at the end, when we get the stinger, I was like, yes, like visibly, fucking out loud. I was so fucking in fanboy heaven for this stuff. I was like,
was the person behind you like, can you put your fucking arms down, please?
Maybe.
Before
possible.
Strapped two pipe bombs to them. The sorry, I lost. You were saying the one aspect. Because I was like saying I've interrupted so much. I was like trying not to.
No, I got a million notes.
Down my points, but
I can get to whenever.
Oh my gosh, I'm lost now. Sorry, I apologize.
He's lost.
I'm gonna have to I'm gonna write it down next time.
Okay, no, I love the dialogue. I love. I think it's cool that he meets that guy that comes back at the end. That's the boyfriend. He meets him in the thing when he first comes in. I didn't pick that up until the second time I saw it. I'm like, oh, that's the fucking guy. I didn't even realize it. So I thought it was cool that the way it worked out. And then he came back at the end. When he came back knocking at the end, I go, well, that just could have been any guy that got burned. That's what I was thinking. I wasn't even putting that together. I didn't even figure it out till the next one. But I was having issues.
That's a shrew's nest for you, or crow's nest? Shrew's nest?
Oh no,
that was pretty, like, because I thought that was pretty obvious. The thing that bothered me about that is because early on they hold up the sheet of like the 34 victims, and Amanda's like, did you even save anyone? So at that point we know that this doctor's so diabolical, she didn't save anyone. So immediately I know this guy's no good. So when he shows up at the end, it's just sort of like inevitable. Okay, when's he going for the gun? You know, Jigsaw did something to the gun, and that. So it just felt like, I don't want to say it dragged, because I enjoyed every moment of it, because I knew it was coming, because I knew he was bad, because obviously she didn't save any patients. So he was, you know, he was definitely in on it. And
well, yeah, when they kissed and they announced it, that's fine at that moment.
Yeah, but I got the sense the whole time, even when he come, I was like, this guy's definitely in on it. Like, he was acting like he had the surgery already, even though his throat like had nothing on it. So I was like, I'm like, okay, he's definitely in on it. And then it's like her speech, it's like very derivative of like, let's talk and talk and talk. We have the guy where we want for so long. It's like, just pull the trigger. You could have killed him a million times, even though they don't pull the trigger till they're in the trapped in the poison room. So it felt a little forced. And so when they finally do reveal, you know, the trap, and this is all set up the whole time, it just felt a little underwhelming. A tiny bit.
Wow. See, I was too angry. Okay, here's what was going on with me. I was getting angry in the third act because I thought they were going to fuck us. I was like, because half the movie, I kept saying it to my wife, and I go, what about the black guy? How did he get away with it? If he went there and he showed him his scar, and freaking he why wouldn't he? Does he think he's still healthy? Will he find out in 3 months that he got burned? What's the deal? How come we're not, there's no, what is the deal? And so I kept thinking, how are they going to get away with this? Because that to me is a loose end and I don't like it. So when that happened, I was like waiting for some type of explanation. It fucked with me. So then there was the other explanation that I waited. I was like, why would this final game be for two people from Jigsaw if she's the only one left? So I was and now they say it later. They come right out and say why. But I'm already thinking this something. Okay, now there's two major plot holes in this movie. Now I'm starting to get really nervous about it. And the whole third act, I was like, oh fuck, I hope they answer these questions. So that's why I had to see it a second time right away, because I was like I was enjoying so much of what I saw that when it got to that, and I thought they were going to shit the bed with freaking these two plot holes, I was like,
yeah, I think they covered everything really well.
did.
Because I mean, think about it. I mean, he had brain surgery, so his scar is covered. He can't see it until he gets that mirror. So if they're not doing any surgeries, this guy who supposedly had his throat done, he's wearing a bandage over that. He could have just pulled it off and seen that he had no surgery done, but he's pretending like he just had the surgery. So that's when I knew instantly. I'm like, oh, well, she didn't save anyone. He has to be a bad guy then. And in terms of, the other guy with the scar on his stomach, like my buddy, the whole movie is like, they got to get back to this guy. They got to get back to this guy. And
Yeah,
then when
that's
the
what I
end
was
credits
thinking.
came, I'm like, they'll get back to him at some point. But that might have
Thank
been what
goodness.
Hoffman's talking about, taking a little extra time finding this guy or dealing with him. Let's deal with him after. But, again, also
Right.
with the cab driver surviving, it was just like, okay, now he has access to information from this guy. So it just felt like, I don't know.
It all worked for me. It all made
It all
sense.
It all works. I just wanted that end. I wanted, when she pulls when the music starts and you realize that she failed. Like I wanted it to be a little bit more epic.
I sort of get where you're going, but I was fine, kind of like what Dave was. I was fine with what we got.
She deserved she deserved a Strom death.
Well, yeah.
But I'm glad they went against it. They always do that. That's the easy way to fucking give the big bad the fucking worst death. It speaks to Jigsaw as a that's what I'm saying. Anytime I hear someone critique anything about the way things played out, I think that this movie is different because of where Jigsaw's head was at the time.
Yeah.
When he goes there and he thinks he has a shot and he meets the boy and everything else and he has the connection to the other girl and then he's talking and then he thinks he's cured and we see him cry of joy, of fucking, okay, I think I'm going to be cancer free. Then he goes out and then he's sitting there and he's writing stuff on that paper, that journal, and he scraps the fucking thing almost like he's going to retire from doing this shit now.
Yeah.
He was like, he was like in a completely different part of his mind. That's why he got so close to that kid. And that's why it mattered to him. And just his headspace and where he was. And then he was like, okay, now he's probably thinking, okay, I'm going to retire. And then he goes back to do the thing. It's funny because my wife thought that maybe when he got back and the place was empty, she thought that fucking other people came in and wiped them out. And Jigsaw was going to take revenge for them because they were his friends and they attempted to help him.
That's the cartel. It was the cartel.
Well, it was very cartel feeling when they came up and they did the thing and everything else. Yeah. So now that's what was going on. But let me just talk about the fucking dialogue, because how he talks in the beginning about, he gets pissed off. He's like, how does this look? He goes, so you're saying that I should just die easy and all that stuff. And he's talking about that. Then when he gets out there and then after he's grateful what's happened and everything else, when he has that stuff going on with Cecilia and he's talking to Amanda and he says, you promised dying people hope. That's amazing. And then he makes a point to say, this is not retribution. It's a reawakening. Mm-hmm. So he is doing this stuff. And then he's talking to what's her name again. And he tells Amanda, if you can't handle this, how are you going to handle the rest of our work? Because she makes perfect sense to me that she's going to side with the druggie. Because she's like, you don't understand. There's this, and this, but you don't understand. Drugs is a whole other element. And then he's like, well, if you can't handle this, he's really trying to pass it on. And she's like trying to get out of it. She doesn't have any fucking, what do you call it? She doesn't think she's going to be able to do this when he's gone. So he's like, the rest of our work's coming. And then he says, you're ready and you can do it. He's trying to, it's all about her doubting herself, her going through this transformation and him trying to get out of it, either because he's going to die or because he's going to freaking just take a breather for a bit and freaking enjoy the second chance that he has at life.
Yeah.
And that's what all hits for me. And then he even tells her at one time, he goes, everybody deserves a chance. You should know that more than anyone. And it's true, especially her. And he doesn't even know what happened with Gideon yet at this point. But still, I love the chance that go ahead, C.
No, that trap that he was also, I know you were talking about it, that he's dolling up is the trap from part 3, right? Like the headpiece.
The rack.
Yeah,
The
for
rack.
which is really good. Then he scraps it. But
it's cool though. It's cool that he does that. He's considering maybe getting out of it. But I love the fact they bring back the neck zappers. We haven't seen those neck zappers since the first couple
in
movies.
part 1 as well.
So
I know. It was great.
Fits in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
neck zappers.
John and Amanda
better
both
than the Frank
freaking
zappers.
Awesome.
Yeah,
we see them both cry.
Yeah.
John
they
and
get to
Amanda.
really flex their acting chops in this one. This is a deeper Saw film.
Oh, dude!
Really, I know it sounds weird, but it really is.
It is.
It's cinematically better. Like I said, better flow. Actually, it's a more cinematic movie. It's more movie than just what the series gave, which was more soap opera.
It's a character-driven film, and it's long. It's almost 2 hours.
Yeah,
it's on
great.
the long side.
But it still delivers
Yeah.
what a Saw movie you'd expect from a Saw film. But like you said, whether afterthoughts or not, it still delivers on that premise, but by adding this other element of an actual movie-going experience, that it's not just a freak show.
It's not. But
Right.
again, I still will watch it again. I'll buy it. Actually, I don't think I own any Saws on Blu-ray.
Wow.
I'm waiting for a set. I feel like eventually we'll get a really nice set. But again, I just feel like the final reveal, the music kicking in and everything, I always felt like that is like the sharpest, most like satisfying part of Saw movies. And the weaker entries for me are the ones where they don't hit as hard, like part 4.
Okay, that's fair.
You're the hero. I was supposed to be the hero, or you were supposed to be the hero. I can't remember. Anyway,
that's part 5.
And I can't disagree with you. I can't disagree with you in this either. Like saying that I was like, I'm happy with what I got, but I wanted it a little bit more epic. But the things that I still got with the way that he came up and the way that he held his head and and that he
hugs Carlos.
Yeah, and everything.
You see human,
Yeah, very human side to John. I like
and Amanda, who covers Carlos's eyes at the end, so she won't see what's going on in the thing.
Even the stalking scenes, very well
touches.
Done. The stalking, the doctor at her mansion,
oh, dude, yeah.
The bathroom scene with Gabriella, the vet scene with the other guy who had to cut his brain open. Like, it's all like the capture, just the buildup, the part that I could see people liking the least, the sort of the setup before you get to the game, I thought was probably the strongest part of the game.
Well, I'd say they're showing it when usually we see them already in the trap.
Yeah.
And they might show some quick flashbacks to how we got there. Now we're seeing it play out in real time.
You're seeing the logistics of everything.
Yeah. Which is great because you've kind of wanted that. So again, it shows another avenue or another element that we were usually exposed to in previous Saw films as the reveal or part of that final sting, as Brandon was saying, when that music comes in, they would show how things were done or whatnot, but they're showing you here in real time. And as to with Dave, this is what I wanted to say earlier, and I just went totally blank. As I'm happy if this is it, and this is all that it's going to be. But as I mentioned last show, when I hadn't watched it yet, it does stand alone. It should be it, but I still think they could wedge another one in between this and part 2.
If they do it quick enough, they can wedge it enough. But then I think it's time, and I don't think this franchise is going to die at any time soon, but it's time to take it in a different direction with, he clearly has so many disciples So you have to introduce someone else, and either it's going to fail miserably, or people will buy it, and the franchise will continue for another 20 films. But it's time to end Jigsaw's, because this was his.
Well, that's what. But I'm saying you could do that one more gap movie
Yeah.
that shows Amanda getting into the part 2 mode, which this is what is happening. A little bit more with Hoff, and also Dr. Gordon, because we know he
Yes.
comes back. So to help bridge what you didn't like, Dave, as the reveal of part 7, kind
They
of
left it out. I'm so glad.
Well, but it's there. It's part of the story arc. So
Yeah, but
why
maybe
not
they thought
help-
it was a mistake. That's why they didn't even mention it in this movie. There was
Yeah,
none of
true.
him. There was none of his wife. Nothing. They probably just said me, John, Amanda, Jigsaw. Pardon me, John, Hoffman, Amanda. That's the fucking 3 that are the most important. And I think
And
that's
it's
what they
true.
I could be
It's
wrong.
true. They left the wife
It's the
out.
most important for the fan service, but if you're going to continue the franchise and actually continue it from where it actually left off, Hoffman is the disciple. Hoffman is the leader now. He's the only good guy. He's the only disciple of Jigsaw who's been worthy.
Yeah, but he's
Everyone-
dead now.
No, Hoffman. Not Hoffman. I'm sorry, not Hoffman. Gordon, I mean.
Or Gordon. Yeah, I think they
Gordon's
just
up.
don't want to do it. And I hope they don't. That's fine. Just let that be what it is.
Listen, I don't think they necessarily have to do it with him, but I think they need to recognize that he is his greatest achievement. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, they said it, but again, maybe they went back and looked and said, that was kind of a bad move.
how
Like,
come
they're thinking
Hoffman
like
Hoffman was never really tested?
his whole movie was part 4 was his test. The entire movie was his test.
But he was never in any danger.
Well, part 5, I don't know. I have to go watch them again and see if he was in any. I don't think you wanted to test him for danger. I think you wanted to test him to
Well,
see if he could do the
how come
job.
Amanda's tested for danger then?
When did she test it for danger? Only before he knows her.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's different. Don't you
How
remember
come
how
Ho-
this fucking franchise works?
How come
Hoffman was
Hoffman?
discovered.
How come Hoffman?
Don't you
was never
remember?
tested?
Because he was. He sat him down. He said, "You can take me to jail right now, or fucking do this, or I'm going to tell you about what's going on with the criminals out there. Most of them end up back on the street, this and that. You could turn me in right now, or don't you remember that whole fucking scene with him and Hoffman that they talk
No,
about?
I
in
remember
part
the scene,
5?
but he never really
That's his
got
test.
tested.
How? Because that he has a fucking shotgun up to his head. How is that not a test?
He didn't have to do anything. All he had to do was tell Jigsaw what he wanted.
I know. I got to watch that scene again and see if it was a true test or not. I don't
I
know.
don't feel like it was a true test.
Either way, I'm going to say this about, because you said it earlier, and I've heard other people say that they should not have killed John off at the end of 3, and that 4, 5, and 6, and now they're trying to write it. To me, I'm glad everything came out exactly the way it does in hindsight, because the best parts about fucking 4, 5, and 6 were the flashbacks to fucking John. Great stuff. And it was perfect for the pacing and the training and explaining the things that we saw again. They would not be as good without that. So I love the fact that they killed him off, and now they can bring him off in this movie to do that other stuff. But let this be it. To me, this is a coda. This is the fucking perfect end
You're right.
of a 10 movie thing. And then they don't say game over. He doesn't do any of that. It's a different ending. They come up. It's a fucking whole different thing. And he lets the girl, right till his very last drop, he keeps his word. He says fucking, I love that. And honestly, I say this. I love the fucking reveal when he says, "You guys were the marks all night and didn't know it." I thought that was great. I don't know. For me, it was exciting to see that fucking, how it happened. It happened so quick. I wasn't even 100% sure on it. To me, I thought the reveal was great, but I was just like, and the music came in, I was just so fucking fanboyed out and excited that they fucking, I don't know. I didn't think there was anything weak about that reveal.
Really?
I understand what you're saying by comparison, but I just, at the moment.
I knew they were the marks the whole night, so I was just like,
I didn't know.
So I want the reveal to be even more epic and more gory and more definitive of what these people deserve. They deserve so much, especially her, because I mean,
different type of movie though. It's showing his mercy.
So she gets out, but she gets out because she survived the thing. What's the first thing she's going to do? We saw that she just stomped on this girl's head to kill her. We know that she has no problem stealing people's money. Carlos lives a stone's throw away from where she's going to be escaping and has all the money. She's going to go kill him and her family.
She's literally killed. She's literally killed about 40 people in this movie.
So that's the one thing leaving her alive. She's like, has she been cured?
She
has she
didn't
been
deserve
cured?
mercy. She didn't deserve. I would have preferred him give her a speech where where he says that she doesn't deserve it, and then they
Everyone deserves a chance. That's his whole mantra. So we can't go against it now. Doesn't make sense to go against it. That's what I'm saying.
I
This
think
movie sums up Jigsaw.
I think the minute she killed Gabriella, things should have changed.
What can you do? That's the game. It is
But
what it is.
Amanda should have done it because Amanda's is unhinged, and in part 2, she makes traps that people
That's
can't
fine.
escape.
That's
you know what I
fine,
mean?
yeah.
So that's
'cause it was
how it
vengeance.
could have been done. That's how it could
Right.
have been done. But she could have taken vengeance.
But he's trying to
on
teach her.
Jigsaw's- I know. but
He's
she's
trying
a
to
bad
teach her the right
disciple.
way. Well, that ended up being her weakness. She couldn't get rid of her vengeance. But in his mind, that's what I'm saying. He's practicing what he preaches in this movie, which I love when that happens in his movies. It doesn't happen in every movie that he does, but in this one, it's a perfect instance of him practicing what
This
he
one
preaches.
to work. I mean, look, it didn't happen in part 1, but it happened here.
I like that they don't use flashbacks from any of the other movie, or well, in this case, part 1, because again, because of the timeline. They don't go back to her in the trap. We know it. Any other Saw movie, that's the difference between this one and the other ones, would have cut back to showing her in that reverse bear trap again. And
Yeah.
it was always there, an editing choice by the filmmakers in this franchise to slam cut back to the event that they're talking about, and they didn't do it in this movie.
Yeah.
And I liked that about this movie too. They made
Yeah,
it
it's
stand on
different.
its own, even though it fits in between 1 and 2.
Yeah.
This is a cherry on top of the whole friggin' thing, man. This is the way you end it. I'm
It
so glad it worked out this
Definitely
way.
helps the franchise for me because I'm a
Yes,
huge fan of
finally.
the franchise. I even love part 7. I'm a strong defender of part 7, so I love everything this franchise has done within the Jigsaw realm.
Yeah,
No.
for the most part, yes. I don't even hate part 7. You know, I
No.
don't dislike part 7 like I used to. I understand that it's someone not as good as Jigsaw.
Yeah.
I still have a few issues, but still, I'm fine. I'm so glad what they did here. It was the perfect movie to make at this case. It's just a way to go out to show him as a humanitarian and everything that he's trying to do. You know, so
Humanitarian. I
No,
love it.
he
But no,
won't.
I agree. Yeah,
he's
I
trying to
always-
save people one at a time.
He was
including Carlos.
He was his most consistent by far in this one in terms of his mission and his cause by far. Because even in part 1, like even if you look back to like Amanda's trap, like there's this poor guy who's unconscious on the floor with an
Agreed.
arrow on his stomach. It's like, what chance does this guy have? This guy has
Unless
no
we're
chance.
seeing the end of it, and maybe
Yeah.
something. But still, I agree with you.
But even so, like
I
it's
agree.
minor quibbles. Again, something you can't really plan for it. Nobody's like, all right, well, I gotta get this make sense in case we make 15 of these films. Like nobody's thinking,
exactly.
like, nobody's thinking we're gonna be so successful. We're gonna
Right.
have a franchise like this. So
To
I think
write
in
it to
terms
make
of
more sense. Yeah.
to have 10 films in a franchise and be as consistent as it has been and have some flaws, but stuff you could at least explain away. Like,
Mhm.
did you miss the end of his game? Did he fail his game and he's just there and this is his punishment as a result of him failing his game? You know, something like that.
Let me ask you one last question. Remember when he sees that kid stealing
Yeah.
in the place, and he has
Good
the
choice.
fantasy of it? What'd you think about that?
No,
Well,
issue
that
with
was fan service. I liked it too because they were trying to. I thought it was real. I'm like, oh my god, this
Right.
is going.
I'm glad
right
it
to
wasn't
this?
because it was too easy.
Yeah,
It was
like,
the
they're going
easiest
right
test
to
ever.
this?
All you do is
He-
break 5 fingers and you're free. Big deal.
And the guy took way too long. I would have turned that dial to 5 instantly. All 5 would
Right.
have broken instantly, and my
Right.
eyes would have been sucked out of my face.
But I liked how it was a vision. That was just to give people
Yeah.
a little bit more of what they were expecting from a Saw film earlier in the movie, so that they weren't like, "What the hell? Like this is not like any of the other ones." But it fit because it means his mind's always thinking of different ways to do these traps, and that was what he had in mind for that particular person. Even if he wasn't going to put it out there, he's always thinking about it.
Right.
2 things I remembered everything that it said. I mentioned one of them already when I went total blank there, but I said, thank God he packed a spare Billy.
Well, I think Amanda brought it.
True. That's actually valid. Very good.
You know
Very good
me.
point.
I'm watching. I'm like, how is
Yeah,
the movie's
yeah.
going on? So I had to freaking put the
Oops.
pieces together.
Yeah.
And they also don't say how long this takes
And
place.
Carry
Although
On. You think she popped in
somebody
and
told
Carry
me
On?
that a producer said, right, a producer said it was 3 to 4 days. But in my
Yeah.
mind, which is stupid, because why would you harm your film by saying that? They don't have to say anything. And to me, I'm saying, well, this could have been a 2-week period for them to get this ready. Who knows? You know what I mean?
Even 3 or 4 days, even course
To
of a
construct
week.
them and
It's
get them over.
Yeah, I mean,
given the fact that he's a brilliant engineer, Amanda's clearly a highly intelligent individual. I have no problem believing that they could set this up in a couple of days.
and he's using the stuff that's there, the radiation thing that we saw was
Yeah.
left there and whatnot. Why it was a real machine, who knows? But that's fine. That's again plot service to help make them. Otherwise, you don't have the film. Like I mean, I'm fine with all of that.
Yeah.
And the question is, like, Gordon probably should have been there because Gordon is the one who clearly had to cut this guy's brain open. I mean, who cut his brain open for him? Who had it all outlined and stuff? I'm sure, like Gordon said, like here's the place where you cut. Here's this and that.
Oh, there you go. That's true.
Yeah, they could
but
do
it's
that
just like
in
Saw 1.
Saw 11. Now
I
the
don't know.
end scene, which again was a great capper.
Oh, I
because
got
you
it
get-
here.
You get Hoffman there, but so that guy, was he
So
there
cool.
specifically to bring John aboard? Was he
Yeah, he's
walking by him on purpose for him to? And he was being boisterous and, hey, can I get those 2 drinks so that
Yeah,
John
yeah.
would see
Yes.
him? Like it was all
He's part of the con.
specifically to bring.
Yeah.
I know he's part of the con, but he was there specifically to bring in John.
Yeah.
Like if John
Right.
didn't stop him, would he have stopped John?
Who
said,
gets
"Hey,
a
John."
scone? Who buys a scone?
Yeah,
be honest.
that was the first clue.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Can I even play this? Will it work? I'm gonna try to play it.
We've
Can you
noticed
hear
on
that or no?
Zoom.
Can you hear it or no?
Not well. We found that the Zoom uses these like parameters for audio
Fuck.
that you can't play shit over easily. It filters it out. It's the weirdest
that's-
thing.
That's
There's a
stupid.
way to do it. We've done it before where you original sound for musicians, you either got to turn it on or turn it off. So let's see. Right now it's on. We're not going to have enough time. Original. Oh, hold on. Zoomed optimized audio. Okay, hold on. Let's try this. Okay, tell me if you can hear this.
Nope. Even worse. Now I hear nothing. At least before I could hear some jibber jabber.
Jibber jabber.
About now.
No.
Nah, nothing.
Wow. I hate fucking this thing. That
The one
sucks.
weakness, the one weird
Yep.
thing about Zoom. Otherwise, the audio quality's been amazing comparatively, but it's weird. But
How about this? One more.
he's got to play it. Nope.
No. Fuck.
You can hear some. You
Oh,
can just
wow.
hear some whispering, but it's not coming through. It's like filtering it out. So, but
I'm just watching it then.
you watch it for your own enjoyment.
Well,
but
yeah. I want to see if he says it the way that B said.
I don't know why. That's the way I heard it.
say it
Let's
for the
see.
audience again, B. For the listeners.
Where's your scar?
Awesome.
I do like Hoffman's line though. Of all the people you could con, you chose John Kramer or whatever
Yeah.
he says.
That was
Right.
that-
Good line.
We're heading out the theater, and I'm like, I swear they needed a little bit more Hoffman, and I was a little upset because they hadn't explained that character yet. And so we're taking our time out, and Josh is like, "Do you want to stay and wait?" And I'm like, "I kind of do."
You
But
know
we were
what,
coming
though?
out, and the other 2 guys that were behind us, the other couple was in front of us leaving, and we were about to leave, and I'm like, I sometimes stay for the final credits, but I was just like so hopped up. I'm like, let's go. Then we were walking out, and I'm like, there's got to be something else.
You
And then of
gotta
course the
look-
scene kicked in.
Yeah, you gotta look. I always look before I go to the movies now, especially with horror movies, because they always do it. So I knew there was an end credit scene, so I didn't even attempt to get up. But the thing is, with Hoffman, they could definitely do more Hoffman because the guy hasn't aged at all.
Yeah. And he's got this, the coif is just like, it's just this,
Yes.
like,
It's
yeah.
immaculate. It hasn't. A hair hasn't moved in 15 years.
Yeah.
Where's your scar? That's what he says.
Yeah.
Where-
Where's
okay.
your scar?
It's
good, though.
I like it though. He's about to get a scar.
That's for sure.
And somebody
See, that was
questioned-
good.
And somebody questioned, like, does this guy survive? The what's his name? I forgot his name. Kevin. He's a well-known actor. He was in Lean on Me. I remember him from Lean on Me.
Way
the
back in the
80s.
day.
Yeah, way
Wow.
back in the day. That guy's has like 200 credits on his IMDb because I looked it up to make sure it was him, and it was. He's been around
Where's your
forever.
scar?
But he's
That's good.
in the bathroom, and he's not there at the end of part 2. So wondering if he survived.
Huh.
That's another thing I read that I was like, oh, it's getting a little bit much
Interesting.
for me, especially since I haven't rewatched them all recently.
The world may never know. I hope we don't know. I want it to end right here.
No,
This is
that's
the perfect way to go. I've said it
that's
again and again. Just leave it be.
that's fine. If you're gonna continue it now, it's time to move on. If you have to create new characters, go back to the guy from Jigsaw, go back to something else, or I don't want to say reboot it, but
I
it
don't
needs.
want to see anything else. If
I
it's not
love
Kramer
them. I
doing
love
it,
them. I know, but it's like
yeah. But think about the other 3, 7, 8, Jigsaw, and fucking what's the other one? Spiral. Those
okay,
are the
it's fine.
3 without freaking really Jigsaw in it, and they're all lesser movies compared to 1 through 6. They just are. But 10 brings it back. Why
See,
would
I
you want to
don't.
do something to go down that road again? You know,
I put 7 and 8 right there on par with 4, 5, and stuff. So I'm
oh
okay with
shit.
that.
Okay.
With 2, 4, 5. Like I feel like those 5 films all fit in that same sort of feel for me.
I'm a sucker. I always
Well-
say I love 4 and 5. I could pop them on. I just
Yeah.
it's something about them are
Five
are
might
silly
be
as
one of the
fluff.
most fun. 5 might be one of the most fun. The first time I saw it in theater, I was like, this was the worst one by far because it really didn't do anything to progress the story. It was just a filler movie. But it's one of the most fun. And the end trap is just so fun.
Yeah, I like it. I know a lot of people hate it. Something about 5
Yeah, I
I've
don't
always
get
really
that.
liked.
Now I will, anytime
Yeah.
I see a glass coffin with broken shards in it, I will immediately get in it. It doesn't matter where I am. I immediately get into it because I think about what's going to happen if I don't get into it.
Awesome.
Oh man.
Well,
Oh, this
for
is
me,
way
it's
better.
still
Sorry.
it's 3 and
Go ahead.
6. No, for me, it's still 3 and 6 as the well. This is my order now. It's 3, 1, 6, and then I put this one next. This is my number 4, I think, in the
Now
franchise
everybody
right
from the 316.
Awesome.
I'll have to. I mean, out of the gate, I was just so happy because it did so
Right.
much. But like I said, the 3 I go up and down with. Again, 3 I was like everybody loves 3, and it is good. But when I did the series, when we did the franchise, I was down on it, and I actually
crazy.
scored I think 4 and 5. But I do like 3. One. I mean, I like the 1, 3, 6, and this one are the standouts, I
Yeah.
guess.
I
But
honestly think
3 lower.
3's reveal and end music scene might be
Everything.
the best one.
Yeah.
It might be the best one. It is just so epic, so well thought out, and so in your face. Yet I didn't see it coming. It's so there.
Right.
It's so obvious, and it's like,
Yeah.
holy shit! It just hits you every time. 6 is also the same way. 1's iconic, but yeah, this one, I mean, I gave them all such high scores when we did the franchise that I'm right there. I mean, I'll say it. I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Might come up if when I rewatch it. I told you the only thing is that last end of the third act.
And I'm at an 8.
Okay.
And I'm at an 8.5.
Okay.
So-
so there we are.
Yeah.
24 out of 30. Hall of shame. Hall of lame.
No, and I was wondering too because I know that a full head is an 8.5 and above, and I think an 8.
Oh, don't start. I haven't been here for 2 years. Full head.
Yeah, come on, Brandon, we do head ratings. What's your head rating?
I gave it 3 bouillon cubes out of 5.
Beef or chicken?
Oh shit! Well, we'll thank Ram Man for just saying,
Yeah.
you know what would be great if you guys got together and did this because you did the rest of the Saw franchise, and here we are. We did it. I should put this out once this stews for a bit. Maybe when it comes out in streaming or whatever, I should put the whole Saw franchise because remember we did them as individual shows, 2 episodes
we did.
each. Maybe
Yeah.
I'll re-edit it into a Saw package,
A Saw package.
raw
All
Saw,
right. Awesome.
raw dogging, Saw
I'm down.
dogging.
Saw dogging. Yeah.
Definitely my favorite franchise.
Number 3 still for me, but
Yeah, that's fine. I would expect
You know?
it. Don't get me wrong, but if I could look at it and be like, I'll take 9 of these 10 films every day now. Whereas
Yeah.
other franchises, it's like I'll take 8 of 12.
True. That is consistent. I got to reevaluate this. You're right.
But I have
Yeah, you're
to.
right.
I guess I owe Spiral another watch. But man, I was so
Do
disappointed
it.
that.
Just that voice is the worst of all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No question.
I'm Judy. It's fucking, what a terrible fucking voice.
Oh, Aunt Judy again.
Yeah.
Oh my
Good old
God.
Aunt Judy. I'll
Aunt
see you
Judy.
next Christmas.
Oh, B.
I will not be seeing Aunt Judy next Christmas.
It's so great to have you back on the show, man.
It was
Oh,
great
man.
being back. I'll see you guys in 2025.
Well, yeah, for sure. Not 2025, 2024.
No, I'm saying
For the-
2025.
Ah,
I need that. I need that buffer year. I'll be back for the
Oh,
year
shit.
end. I feel like I
Yeah.
always have to defend the year ends.
Come on the actual year end. If you can't, we'll have to do the follow-up show. But it would be nice. I'm assuming
it. Yeah.
Watson's coming back on too.
Oh, yeah. I don't see why not.
I forgot I'm busy that day. Shit.
Awesome, man. Well, no, it's been great to have you. I know everybody's looking forward to seeing you and hearing you again. So, you have
Yep.
anything to say to anybody?
Not a damn thing. No.
They expect nothing
Love
less.
you guys. Love you guys. Thanks for recommending this. I'm glad I came on. Hopefully
Yeah.
more often.
I hope so. Anytime,
Yeah.
you know it. We'll always ask. So,
Appreciate
know.
it, guys.
so
Yeah, man.
it's October, everybody. Enjoy it. Enjoy your month. Enjoy your
Shocktober.
fun.
Shocked.
Spooky season. But should we put that up as a poll? Spooky season
I
versus
thought we did.
Shocktober.
I think
Oh,
you
did we?
did. Dave always goes, why do people always
Okay.
attack me on these things? And he always comes up with these posts that like challenges, like they're like, what do you think is the stupidest saying? Spooky season
like
or
I'm not
Shocktober?
I'm not a controversial person, but which one of these persons would you kill first?
Yeah.
I don't hate anything, but don't you hate this?
That's true.
Don't do it,
You're right.
Dave. But I think we did do it already.
No,
And
I
I
wouldn't.
think-
I'm not going to do it.
Teflon C. Have Teflon C do it.
Oh yeah, Teflon B. I forgot to give you your
Teflon B.
introduction. Rookie of the year, Teflon B. How many nicknames?
Top
did
of
he
the
have?
We
Moms.
did jump right in.
Top
Do you want
of
to
the
do the
moms.
introduction right now? Like we just jumped into it and then just
You're
went
right.
off. Like, here
Well,
he
I'm
is,
Dave.
everybody.
Here we are, folks. It's too late now, right? But yeah, there he is.
Teflon B.
What's going
And
on?
that's
There's
it.
one pumpkin by the side of your head that's really bugging me.
This one?
Who said?
This one. Yeah, what is up with that one?
Oh,
Looks
it's
like it's been-
smashed. Huh?
Yeah, it looks like it's got like, yeah.
Poor bastard.
It's
Is that a smashing
retarded.
pumpkin? Is that a
It's a
smashing
retarded
pumpkin?
pumpkin. Yeah, it's a
It's a.
Any
it's a-
relation to Riri?
Oh,
Oh,
it's a jack off lantern. Somebody's sticking their
Yeah.
freaking you know what in there. That's what's going on. They're pounding. that
You
pumpkin.
know what? When did we start censoring? Someone's been sticking the you know what in there.
Oh, no. I'm gone, man. I told you guys I'm gone.
Oh man. And speaking of being gone, good night, everybody.
We're gone. Manchichi, Manchichi. We love you.